The band's so good, they're just called The Band. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I am Ron Bennington. Coming off an amazing show last night at the Village Underground with Gilbert Godfrey and family. Just a fun night. Everybody on the team, amazing job. Really, really cool.
That was such a great show from start to finish. I'm so gaga for Gilbert.
For Gilbert.
I just he's such a sweetheart.
Yes.
He's exactly how you would hope he would be.
Well, he had his wife on with him and his documentarian. And Friday night is the debut of the movie Gilbert, and it's going to be at the IFC Center in New York City, and they're going to play the movie and then a Q&A with Ira Glass from NPR.
Very cool.
If you get the opportunity and you're in the New York City area and you don't think that it's the second 9/11, come on in and hang out, because it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime situation. The IFC Center, what the hell was the name of it years ago? That's where Rocky Horror started, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The Waverly?
Was it called the Waverly? I think you're right. So it's a really great place. It's actually right near the Village Underground where we were last night. You could throw a rock to it. And it's just a cool place, and they always have cool independent films. And the fact that you can get a Q&A after the film, it's always the best. And the movie's terrific. I can't wait for everybody to see it. Great night all the way around. Now, we started the band today because we're going to do Toronto. And there's really a lot of Ontario people on the next GPS.
So that's GPS Toronto, and it's premiering Saturday, 3 p.m. East on Deep Tracks, Channel 27.
Deep Tracks, where all the tracks are deep.
So deep.
Although our tracks are not that deep this week. We stay pretty hip-friendly. We just got caught up. Well, when we were looking at Toronto, we ended up having 600 songs, and we were like, well, why don't we just begin at the beginning, you know? Is your phone thing fucked up, Chris?
No, and one of the other PCs is fucked up, so that's what I'm trying to do a little IT work.
Oh, nice.
IT guy over there.
Are you worried that the bug is going to spread? We've got to shut this down. Shut it. So yeah, that was a blast last night. It just seems like so many people are doing really cool, weird work, unexpected work. You got Judah's movie out that he shot himself, and I keep being in conversations with people from the cellar about that. I was talking to Liz Ford last night, and she was also so touched that in the thank yous, or at the end, in his own handwriting, he thanks every server that works there, everybody that has anything to do with the cellar.
That is so sweet.
And she's like, dude, we should be thanking you. You don't thank us. But that's also Judah. But just, she was telling me just how much shit is going on right now. And when you consider that Louis just shot a movie without anybody knowing about it, and it's got stars in it.
I still don't really understand how he's able to do that.
Here's what he's able to do that no sane person would do. He figures he has $4 or $5 million, and instead of putting that money away like people do and saying, look, when all this shit stops, I'll have $5 million. So, I'll be okay. He made Horace and Pete with that money.
Yeah.
And got stars, didn't tell anybody about it, went in, was millions of dollars in debt with it, sold it to like Hulu or rented it to Hulu, whatever you do, got that money back and said, okay, here's the money I thought I threw away. Now I'll do a movie with it. Went out and got Malkovich and all these other stars, shot it without telling anybody. I mean, I don't think in history, other than maybe a documentary, somebody has made something without there being press on it beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, it never happens that way.
It's never happened, period. Ever.
And it looks like, it's not like Horace and Pete, you could at least say was shot like, almost like a play. But this is out in the world. He must have been seen. Oh, yeah.
But even with Horace and Pete, when you think of the comics that were,
everybody involved, yeah.
I mean, what doesn't Lisa Traeger say? You know what I'm saying?
Know. The fact that she kept hush-hush about it?
Nick DiPaolo keeps quiet. Since when? Who else? What other comics were in that? Not the big stars.
Kurt Metzger.
All right, again, there's another fucking loose cannon. Kurt Metzger's not talking. I'm hearing Kurt's doing really well in Los Angeles, and everybody's just liking the way that he's looking and sounding. And,
is he out there full time now?
Yeah, he's been out there. I heard of a project that he was working on as a writer, and it's also kind of hush-hush because it was with a big major star. And you never know whether those things get accomplished or not, but, he got hired for it.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Why can't a major star ask me to write something? Oh, yeah, laziness. Really would rather just sit around and talk about bands and movies.
Yeah, fun
sports stuff.
It's great because you don't have to write any of that stuff down.
You don't have to write it down. You don't have to be right. You know what I mean? I could just say things without caring whether they're right or wrong.
Definitive best album of all time.
This is going to be tough for me. Because you're really looking at 5 different decades now, Please don't bring up Kanye, or this fucking lunch is over. Bam, bam, bam. But anyway, that was just a blast last night. What a great audience, too. Everybody was just fucking having a ball. Everybody was in a great mood.
That audience was so energetic and fun and so really connected to everything that was going on. I mean, there are so many great stories that happen within that hour of conversation. Stuff that's in the film, stuff that's not in the film.
Yeah.
Just from Gilbert's life to basically behind the scenes of what it's like to shoot with Gilbert, which sounds hilarious.
The only reason that conversation ended is that it was a time to end. Because that could have just went on for hours and hours.
And I think they felt the same. I think that they were very comfortable up there.
Well, that was part of the problem with ending it. There was like 3 different natural ending places that we didn't end. And then I went home and watched the World Series, and I had that sadness when it was over. Oh, that's the end of the World Series. It's done.
No more back and forth and fun?
Yeah, no more back and forth, no more tension. Got to wait till February. I'm really got a good feeling about the Phils. I just think they're going to make a couple moves now. Now that time that positivity starts to set back in over the winter,
refresh.
You just start to read some things. You're like, yeah, man, we really do have a farm system. Dave in New Jersey.
Yeah, hi, Ronnie. You just mentioned nobody asked you to write anything. Have you ever written your autobiography? Because it seems like you've lived an interesting life and you have great anecdotes. Or have you ever done a show where you just talked about your life story? Maybe I'd love to hear that.
You know what? I am too much of a fan of that kind of stuff to just sloppily do it, and I am just far too lazy.
You owned a nightclub. You did a lot of really good stuff on radio. And,
here's the thing. I need 2 more people to die, and then I could tell these stories properly. Because I hate when anyone tells a story and they don't use all the names.
Right, you got to protect the people involved. That's not as fun.
I don't want to protect them. You know what I mean? I want to be protected from them.
Did you used to work in a hotel? And
yes, all these things are true. It's just the fucking. But you can see nothing is ever built upon itself. I'm too big of a fan of theme, and when I'm able to do that with other people and help them find the threads of their life, but my own life, no threads there whatsoever. Just a fucking chaotic madness run. And now it's like there's almost too many things coming at the same time. Like one of the reasons I look around, like before this show last night, I had to say to Chris Stanley, relax, dude, because it was so chaotic leading up to that.
Yeah.
This poor guy was on a fucking tear. And then he goes like, he actually said to me, Gilbert's in the other room. We'll grab. And I'm like, dude, this is no way to greet the people that we're doing this with.
You remember there was a moment that I came up to you and said, hey, just so you know, there's like a correction to this thing. Yeah. And then maybe 10 seconds later, Chris comes right up. He's like, the correction is there. And then I'm like, it's fine. I just told him.
It's up there. It's right near where it should be.
I was like, it's fine. I just told him, but not screaming.
You felt like you were fucked over by everybody that was supposed to be responsible.
Yeah, and the city of New York, and just everything.
It's
wild.
That's why you were producing last night, but you've got to enjoy that, not be so driven. And you said Vito was zero help to you, but I told you, Vito, you're burnt, right, Vito?
No, I was helping Chris the whole time.
But I'm saying you are burnt.
No, I'm not burnt out at all.
It's okay if you are, man. This is how we figure shit out.
I'm not burnt out.
I'm going to send you to Bellevue.
Please,
that's fine there.
That seems like a little much. Bellevue.
72 hours, you'll be good.
Can I just say something? You never want to say please before you say, don't send me to Bellevue.
Please don't!
Just find it in your heart not to send me to Bellevue.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
Don't do this. Just, it's okay if you're burnt. People get burnt.
By the way, if anyone offered me a 72-hour at Bellevue, I'd take it.
I love it.
I would take it in a second.
Medication time. Medication time.
I just think, like, I could just see myself just, like, in a ratty robe, just staring out the window for a couple days.
Then you're forced to be in some fucking round table meeting where you're allowed to smoke.
Love it.
You bring up shit about what your uncle did, and it's just great. And then all of a sudden the medication comes and you get the nods in your chair, and you fucking look over and the guy you've been talking to doesn't even exist. Has never existed before.
Don't you want that, Vito?
What is he yelling? You got to turn your mic on, son.
I'm sorry, I was asked a question, so I did not hear what you just said.
Why are you yelling at them? They're
allowed to ask you questions.
Yeah.
This is a sign of being burnt out.
No, I'm not burnt out.
You are burnt out. That's why you're screaming, I'm not burnt out.
Because it keeps getting brought up, and I want it to be very clear that I'm not burnt out. I'm burnt on.
Burnt on?
You mean burnt in.
I was trying to think of
burn on means that you have actual burns.
Is that what you have? Has someone been burning you?
Are you burning yourself?
What is everybody eating? There's just a constant. Chris is on his third cupcake.
Delicious.
Gail's got it looks like a pie or a cake going.
It's both.
What?
This is from Maureen, and this is like a cranberry pie cake or pake, as it says here.
I didn't know that.
This is so fucking good. I can't believe it. This is
Why
so
isn't
delicious.
it a kai? Here, give me a bite.
Yeah.
What kind is this?
This is cranberry, and it looks like walnut, and it's so good.
What are you eating over there?
Well, I'm eating a caramel corn cupcake. Well, it's the third one. It's delicious. And I have a chocolate chip pie here in my hand.
Chocolate. He's having some chocolate.
You say that like Denny.
I mean, I've never had a chocolate chip pie, but it looks good.
Apparently, it's what is it? A pike? Half pie, half cake.
A cake.
Pike?
Or a pookie, if it's a chocolate chip, if it's a cookie cake.
Okay, easy. Don't yell fuck for no apparent reason when you're enjoying somebody's presence. And when you're in the presence of the Lord. Well, thank you, Maureen.
You've outdone yourself this time, Maureen.
You and your stunning hair did not need to bake for us.
Her hair looked great last night.
It always looks great, man. She's just got the Fleetwood Mac thing down 100%.
It looks great.
She should open up a beauty parlor called Classic Rock. Dude, I was reading this thing where they're calling classic rock like a genre for young people. And what it is like they're not into classic rock. They're treating themselves as if this was the 70s and they're coming from blues and R&B and it's all new music. And I'm like, oh, I know a fucking guy who plays that kind of music.
Who?
Who plays like a dog. It's our own fucking Connor.
Yeah.
His band literally fit in with this thing that was in the Wall Street Journal.
Absolutely, you're right.
He's producing this Toronto thing with Chris this week, which I thought was supposed to be Vito's so that you would have a little more time to yourself. Do you feel like because he's burnt out, you got to do everything?
I just wanted to jump in on GPS Toronto, and I thought my musical knowledge might be more useful.
There's not one thing that you added musically. You had Connor do all that. But the button pushing could have been done by the burned on boy, you know?
I mean, he's not our music boy, that's for sure, but he is.
Well, neither is Chris. I mean, he didn't know one of those fucking acts. Chris knows one thing, Fish. And if you talk to anybody from Fish, he doesn't know that.
And I heard him, he thought it was pronounced Pihish. I heard him. That's
He
really
thought it was
embarrassing.
Piche. A little Italian genital. I was watching a thing on Frank Zappa today, and I almost didn't even come into work because it was on cable. There's never been anybody that has annoyed me as much as Frank Zappa.
He's very annoying.
The way he fucking talks, and he's so superior. The way he treated his band. And then I'll just find myself grooving and fucking 5 seconds later, and then he's back to being interviewed. I'm just like, oh, I don't know, Frank. You're like a fucking Italian dad somehow. He kind of left a broken up family too. They all fight back and forth legally.
Oh, really? The Zappas?
The rights to that music, because there was that Zappa on Zappa tour that was coming around. Which is the older Zappa boy?
I think it's Dweezil.
Dweezil?
Yeah, so Dweezil was playing that music, and then other people in the family, I'm going to guess Amit, thinks that he doesn't have a right to play the music, and they end up fighting in court, and it's very sad.
What does Moon Unit think about it?
Well, she just goes by Moon now, and I mean, she just likes to have a place to sing Valley Girl. It's still edgy as it ever was.
And I think there's also a Diva Zappa.
Diva?
I think there's a Diva Zappa.
That's odd.
Unless I just made that up.
That's okay if you did. Sometimes we have fun with our imagination. So, World Series over. Next Sunday is going to be Super Bowl, so that'll be fun. The NBA playoffs have started.
Sunday?
And the Stanley Cup. I don't know, I just need constant sports fucking championships. 30 for 30 on Tuesday. Burnout. It's the Nature Boy. The Nature Boy is getting his own 30 for 30. Apparently, somebody's going to take a ride on Space Mountain with him.
I hope it's all of us.
This is how, like we were at the time, it was like Space Mountain was the most exciting thing that you could say in the entire country. We didn't have one thing that said excitement like the term Space Mountain.
I fucking love Space Mountain.
The darkness got to me a little bit. I don't like to be thrown around in the darkness.
And I like that it always looked like those bars were going to take your head off.
But there's been 7,000 fucking roller coasters built since Space Mountain now that are considered above it. It's almost like talking about, like, in terms of workouts, that would be a guy with those big old-fashioned barbells and Indian clubs. It just looks like Babe Ruth would have been on it.
On Space Mountain, were you on a spaceship? Was that what it was supposed to be?
You were on a mountain that was in space.
What? That's a fucking gigantic mountain.
Have you never been to Disney?
Never been to Disneyland or World or Epcot or Universal.
World is the only one that counts.
Well, it's the only one where you had the space. You know what I mean? To really stretch their shit out.
Was there water? Was there water involved in Space Mountain?
Is there water in space?
I don't know. I don't know about.
You don't know if there's water in space or not.
I know there isn't water in space, but maybe
say it again. You know there isn't water in space. You don't need to go on from there.
Maybe you're coming down from space on Space Mountain.
It's not fucking Aqua Mountain.
He's thinking of Splash Mountain.
There's a Splash Mountain?
Why don't you take that fucking Costa Rican beauty of yours and go for an Orlando trip?
Not going to Disney World. I have no desire.
You're just sitting here on the edge of your seat, trying to imagine what Space Mountain is.
Is there water in space?
I'm curious about it, but I don't want to go on roller coasters and shit and hang out with children. I don't want to do that. Disney World seems too weird.
Dude, make your own adventure, dude. Go there.
Not going to Disney World.
Go to Disney
World,
like
dude. Fucking nightmare.
But why were you just sitting around being so excited talking about it?
Because I've heard about Space Mountain my entire life.
Yes.
I've never fucking been
Go there, man. Go.
I'm not going.
You got to go to Disney World, dude.
Dude, you don't want to be an American who hasn't been to Disney World.
I like that I'm an American that hasn't been in Disney.
Do you?
World. Yes.
Because you seem like you were very needy talking about it with excitement.
Look, I had Six Flags in Jersey as a child. That's where my parents took me twice.
Yes, that's why they make movies about Six Flags.
Everybody who wins a championship says I'm going to Six Flags.
You're a dick.
He's got you, though.
It's all the Stanley family had, all right?
I heard that you went to Sex Flags. And by the way, you said flag differently in a way that I no longer can. So I don't have to be the new fucking Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey's now, I think, checking into some kind of treatment.
Oh, yeah?
Come on, man. The fuck are we in this nutty thing?
It's going to help him.
We know that he's just doing it for like legal purposes. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than when people are forced to fake these weird apologies when they don't mean it. There's something wrong with us. First of all, if you're forced to make an apology, right? How is that even an apology? Somebody's just going to go like this. Why would I believe you? I know you're just saying this because there's more trouble if you don't.
If he was the one to break the story, I'd be like, guys, I got to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
Years ago, I did something really fucked up and I've been hiding it. You know, there was a victim of this crime.
If what you were saying is true, we wouldn't be able to hear them over 330 other million voices saying the same exact thing. But we love the fact that we can force somebody else into the gauntlet all the time. Fucking ridiculous. Dan, Ohio. Dan, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. How's it going, Bennington?
I don't know. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I do not know.
All right. I was just calling to comment on Chris not going to Disney World.
He's never been there.
What the hell's up with that?
What do you mean, what's
It's
up
awesome.
with that?
You got to go to Epcot.
I never went on a
gotta go.
vacation with my parents.
Yeah.
Well, you're a parent yourself now. You're an adult man. You don't have to sit around. I hate when people make it to adulthood and then they're still bitching about, I never got a bike. Go buy yourself a fucking bike and stop your goddamn song.
Go get yourself a Disney World, dude.
Disney World is
You gotta
to the
go.
child in you.
There
The
is-
child that still is that whacked out little fucking weirdo. Okay? And then maybe you can stop acting so childish once you go on a nice fucking Disney vacation.
I think you can release that inner
Can you
child.
imagine you in the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, my God.
And It's a Small World.
Is it mostly animatronics, like robots?
There's a lot of it, and it's fucking. It's a wonder. You'll be at the electrical parade. You're waking up. You're having breakfast, and the Disney characters are coming over
Yeah,
and being
Mickey will
friends
come
with
over.
you.
Oh, but
When you eat your
like
waffles.
Times Square?
No, not like Times Square. Times
It's like
Square
real.
This is fucking real Disney.
This is the fucking real Mickey Mouse, dude.
Imagine you're having a pancake. You look down. There's fucking Mickey Mouse ears on it. You're eating those fucking ears.
They brand the pancakes?
Dude, stop saying Brandon. Your heart is too dark. Just go there and for the child in you.
Can I ask another question? Is that okay? What's the difference between Epcot and like Disney? Is it all the same thing?
Different place.
It's right next to it.
Okay.
Epcot is the future that we're all heading to.
What?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's globalism. All the fucking restaurants and places are together, and then you can see how people are going to farm in the future, and you can see how people are going to drive in the future.
Is that Epcot's the giant ball, right? It's a giant,
Yes, man. Why are you asking the most obvious question?
Because I don't know. I never been.
It sounds like you do.
And I always thought it was all the same fucking thing.
4 magical worlds.
Is the ball hollow or is it like full?
That's what you're going to find out when you get there, dude. The stuff that you're asking is like you should be yelling from the back seat and you're going like this. Christopher, you're going to see it all. Just wait until we get there. Daddy's got nothing but an exciting 2 weeks for you. You're going to go to the MGM studios. We'll go over to Universal. We'll see SeaWorld. And I'll tell you to go up and take a picture of Shamu as he comes by and splashes you. You'll see Cindy and Sandy Dolphin. You're going to be touching stingrays.
I mean,
This is what you deserve, Chris.
You
think?
do,
Yes.
yeah.
You work hard.
Can you just imagine grown up Chris Stanley on the Dumbo ride, just weeing? Wee!
Then
You need that,
Until
man.
some mean kid yells, look, Dumbo's on Dumbo.
hey, shut up.
Don't listen to him, Christopher. You have every right to be here.
They're talking shit.
You got to go to Disney, dude. You got to. You got to enjoy it. You got a Christmas break coming up. Why don't you pay that Costa Rican so-called girlfriend of yours to go with you?
I don't know if she's ever been either. It hasn't come up.
Dude, Christmas at Disney? This is going to be so fun for you
Did they do
guys.
something special?
Are you kidding me, man?
I don't know. I know
What
they do like
don't they do special?
like Horror Fest or whatever for Halloween.
Yes,
Oh
it's
my
going to be
God,
a
if we don't
Mickey
have
Christmas that he celebrates. It's going to be a beautiful tree there. It's going to be fantastic.
But would it be weird that it's like Christmas and like when it's hot out?
No, it's going to be fantastic.
Oh. I mean, I didn't think of that.
You're going to get to do so many things.
By the way, Halloween Horror Nights is a Universal, dude. It's not.
I don't
Try to scare children at Disney.
I don't know the difference.
You will.
You don't know
though.
the difference between adult and children because that's gonna mess you up in
All right,
life.
so
Yes, I do know the difference between that. I'm just saying between Universal, Disney, Epcot, and there's a fourth fucking land.
oh my God, don't call it a fucking land, dude.
A fourth place.
This isn't another one of your fucking lands.
Nicole in Maryland.
Hey, Bennington.
Hey, darling.
I am a travel agent and I specialize in
What-
Disney. I want to
what
help
year
Chris
is
get
this?
there.
Oh
what
my
year is this that
God.
there's travel agents?
Who's going to you?
Hey,
She has access to
I'm
Gaia.
telling you, business is through the roof.
Really?
With a travel agent.
Yeah.
I thought people just went
Yep.
online and clicked.
Yeah.
Well,
She
it's
could
all
book it for
internet,
you.
but because Chris has never been there, he needs help, and I can explain everything to him.
I would love for you and Nicole. And do you have like somebody that speaks Spanish? He has a fiance who doesn't speak English.
Not my fiance.
I speak a pretty good Spanish.
Well, that helps. So what kind of package deals are we talking? Like, what are we? I get Universal and Epcot. What's the price?
Obsessed with
You can't
Universal.
cross like this. It's not going to be the same package.
What?
It's like saying, can I get
You
Coke and
can't
Pepsi
get-
in the same glass?
You
They're
can't
not
mix
only getting that-
Universal with Disney.
Universal is a different
It's a
thing.
different
All right,
thing,
that's
dude.
ridiculous.
No, it isn't ridiculous. It's two different companies.
I thought Disney was the parent, like umbrella company, and then like Universal was under Disney, and so was Epcot.
What? You don't know anything about America.
Not affiliated at all.
Universal's a movie company.
Yeah, I get that, but I thought it's a fucking theme park.
MGM World, dude.
What the
MGM World.
fuck is MGM World?
The fourth park at Disney is Hollywood Studios.
What goes on there?
It's unbelievable. It's out of this
Star
world.
Wars. That's where Star Wars Land is coming to.
Is it there yet?
No,
Nope.
you can have some Star Wars stuff, but not the whole land.
Okay, yeah, as long as you get a little Star Wars.
Tours the ride.
I mean, the ride's like cheap and shitty, or are
No,
they
you get it. It's all part of the
That's-
package.
You don't
It's
pay
like
for
a
the
package.
ride.
I like a
This isn't
package.
Coney Island, man.
I don't know shit
Yeah.
about this.
Then why don't
That's
you
where
listen
I can
instead
help
of
you.
talk? Nicole wants to fucking help you. Treat you like some caveman that just got unfrozen and teach you about the modern world.
He's a caveman.
Everybody else knew about this since 1969.
Seems ridiculous.
All right, he's going to call you, Nicole, and he's going to work out a package. Maybe you can go down for 2 weeks, Chris, and you can have like a social media vacation.
That would be
Like-
great.
Is 2 weeks like? It seems like too much. to Just go to like a amusement
2 weeks, you
park.
won't get enough.
Bullshit.
You're going to
No.
leave there going, the next time we come back, we're doing this, this, and this.
I don't. Are you really?
Yes.
It's massive.
There's also two additional water parks there as well. So you got 6 different parks to go to.
There's a whole sports park, too, where you can go there. There's golf, there's tennis, there's baseball.
Dude,
How do you not know this, man?
Because I'd never been to fucking Orlando or whatever.
What are you afraid of down there? Is there a dead body that you're afraid to be linked to?
They serve alcohol at the various establishments there?
Yes, this is America, Chris. It's not the goddamn Muslim countries.
Well, I know this place it's predominantly for children, so I don't know if they're feeding alcohol to the parents.
Well, Universal is a full party every single night. It's almost like it's like any fucking big city in America.
So, like at Universal, there are rides.
Everywhere there's
Oh,
rides,
my
man.
God.
It's fucking Orlando.
I'm telling you, man.
I took a fucking I took a roller coaster from the airport all the way in. Fucking 17-mile roller coaster ride.
that sounds pretty
It's
cool.
fucking Look, I'm going to hook it up so you can go to Gatorland, too, man. You're going to see nothing but gators everywhere you look.
That sounds pretty cool.
This 2 weeks is not going to be enough.
Oh, God, 2 weeks.
You're going to be up the fucking river,
You're
man.
going to have so much fun. This is
Nothing but fun.
Now, are there like what about are there hotels in the park?
No. People sleep out on the sidewalk like fucking dogs.
They have the best hotels ever.
So that you can stay inside the park? Because I thought you stay in a hotel right outside the park and then you go in every day.
You can do either one.
Oh.
You can sleep in the animal kingdom where there's animals. There's fucking giraffes right outside your balcony.
I don't like
How
that.
did a kid like him know this and not you?
I have no idea. Have you been to Disney?
Yeah, I went to Disney, and you know what? I took a train there because we couldn't afford planes either, so you have no excuse.
It is true.
Or isn't Leslie the best?
She actually is. So
She really is.
She's so great.
You know why? She has a basic fucking empathy for her own child. Care and love and empathy. She wanted this burned out little bastard to enjoy himself. Vito, if you're burnt out, why don't you take a week?
I'm not burnt out.
I don't want you to burn out, dude.
I'm fine.
I'm just going by what Jen told me and Gail told me and Chris told me.
Jen.
See,
He looked at her so nasty.
The fact that you
as
could
though
be,
he believed.
the fact that you could be angry with Jen shows how burned out you are.
I thought Jen
Only
was
a-
my ally, my ride or die. And I can't
Imani told me too. She's like, he smelled a little crispy.
That doesn't make sense. That
'Cause
has
he's
to do with
burnt.
this steak.
Dude, you should stay in the Fort Wilderness Resort.
What is that?
So
Oh my
cool. Looks like a
God.
giant log cabin.
I don't know, like a log cabin.
No, it's a giant building as big as
Oh.
you can fucking see.
I thought.
And
But
it's
it-
made out of fucking logs. And you're
It's so
going in there,
good.
you're wearing you buy a David Crockett
So
fucking hat.
fun.
You just fit right in.
On his budget, he's going to be at the All-Star Movie Hotel.
That's true.
What's that mean? I
That's-
don't get the reference. Well, fuck you then, Vito.
They have 4 lesser hotels. You'll be at one of those. They're all called All-Star: movies, sports, music.
Dude,
That's your
why don't
price
you...
range.
How do you not do this?
Because, first of all, I have no concept of what goes on there other than roller coasters, right? Because the only thing I've ever been to.
Roller coasters is one of the smallest things that happen.
That-
You're walking through happiness itself.
That sounds great.
Yes, it is great.
Because I've only been to Six Flags and Astro Park in
Just stop
Jersey.
going by the shit that you've
that's all I
experienced.
know.
That's nothing. That is nothing.
Look, we went to the Port Authority as a child.
All right, suppose I tried to tell you about VR.
Yeah.
Would you keep bringing up sometime that you had a fucking picture book that you used to stare at? Doesn't make sense.
Chris, you like brunch, right?
Love
You could
the
have
brunch.
brunch with all of the Disney characters.
See, that doesn't sound fun at all.
It is.
It's
It
amazing.
truly is.
They're about the Disney characters, right? Are they in character?
Yeah, they're in
No,
character.
it's a guy walking around with his duck head off, going like this, and he's smoking a fucking cigarette, going like this. I can't believe these brats I got to deal with. Dude, I don't know why you're being this stupid.
You'll never understand their level of professionalism
See, I don't. It's because
until you see
It's the
it.
greatest run company in the history of the world.
I mean, that sounds impressive.
Michael Jackson used to fucking be there every single day of his life.
You liked it that much, huh?
No, he was there because he was fucking put there by the federal authorities. Everything you say is dumb. Everything.
Oh, maybe you should stay at the Grand Floridian.
Oh,
Like, really class it up.
1890s. You know, have that 1890s feel.
You know how you're really into that stuff,
You know
right?
how you always like if there's a player piano, you like to sit down and move your fingers like you're the one playing.
Love doing that.
Yeah,
Unless the Polynesian resort is more your thing.
Greg, DC, what's up, buddy?
Exotic.
Hey, I was gonna say, Chris, you need to do the Epcot, the around the world bar crawl.
So what is that? It's like a bar for every country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems like you
It's the
figured it out.
obvious.
Even though
Yes.
it's my first time hearing about this too, I got it right away.
Look, it's a place I've never been, and it confuses me. All right, I'm
It's awesome.
sorry. I'm not picking up on everything that everyone's
You're
been
not picking
to.
up on anything, man. You're not picking up on a fucking thing.
No, I'm not.
I mean, you didn't even pick up when Vito called you poor.
No, I didn't. And
Come on,
yeah,
All-Star budget.
we weren't doing too well back when I was a child.
You guys gotta walk around and get as drunk as possible.
But Chris, you know what? You can have one day of that. You don't need to do it every day.
No, I don't
right?
want to get.
And then the other
blackout
days,
drunk.
I want to see you on Peter Pan, enjoying yourself.
What's Peter Pan?
You've never heard of Peter Pan.
It's the best ride.
I know the bus company.
You don't know the character Peter Pan?
I know the character Peter Pan, but what's going on?
This is based on a bus company, Chris. and it's
They have a ride. Everyone gets their own mini bus.
So what's the Peter Pan ride like? I
forget
don't
it,
know
man.
about it.
Why would we tell? Why don't I tell you the end of every movie? Just go there and enjoy. You know who he reminds me of? You know the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, right?
Yeah.
That guy that's stuck in jail and the dog has the key and
Yeah.
he keeps trying to reach it forever and ever.
Exactly.
That's fucking key. That's Chris. And the key is happiness, childhood happiness, and he just can't quite reach it. So he's bringing up bus companies and Coney Island. And,
He also reminds me of the pirate who's going to rape those women.
oh, yeah.
There's a rapist pirate?
Yes.
That seems...
More
Are
Are
about
you
Sure,
not
but-
familiar at all with Captain Hook and his fucking crew?
Yeah, I know Captain Hook and his...
Really? Because then why are you asking about it?
Why'd you go, Peter Pan, is that a bus?
He's not even saying is it a peanut butter. He goes out of his way to say it's a bus, which, by the way, I've never heard of. Has anyone else? No. No.
It's the Peter Pan bus
All
company.
right, easy, Chris. No one cares about your fake memories.
Don't yell at Ron. He's trying to help you.
I understand that. And thank you all for trying to help me. I get it. All right.
Doesn't sound like a thank you. Sounds like an attack.
All right. So at Universal, I have to buy a separate ticket to go there.
It's
Why?
a separate park.
Yes,
Why
why
do you-
are you obsessing about the one thing we haven't suggested for you?
We want you at Disney, not Universal.
It seems like
Look,
this.
if you have time, yeah, go to
If
Universal
I have
after.
time, it's 2 fucking weeks.
Yes, in 2 weeks, you're not going to be able to do everything, Chris.
I feel like I'm
You're going
gonna.
to miss out the way you already have your whole life.
I've never got a taste of this.
You also
Of
want-
anything. There's a whole life on the other side of the Hudson, brother. There's a whole world over there.
You'll need a fast pass too, so just make sure you spend the extra money for that.
What's a fast pass?
That's
Oh my
Oh,
God! He doesn't even know what it fast.
it's in the name. It's literally the name of the item.
What do you think?
Pass that makes you go slower and slower.
Was it like a golf cart? What the fuck is a fast
Oh
pass?
my God! You're not golfing, dude.
I'm guessing the fucking fast pass is they drive you around in the rides. Is that it? So you have to fucking walk forever to wherever.
It's not fat, you're fat. It has nothing
All right.
to do
If
with
it's
that.
not far to walk, then why won't I get through it in 2 weeks? There's some logic for you.
There's some-
Just bring a little rascal scooter so you don't have to walk around everywhere.
Like when you go to Costco, that same thing. If you're going to Universal, you're going to go to Volcano Bay.
What's this sounds?
Oh my God!
But what the fuck is Volcano Bay?
What the fuck is it? What isn't it, dude?
It is.
This is honestly confusing.
It's a bay with a fucking volcano there.
I mean, that sounds
You're
great.
Fucking right.
I like
You're
volcanoes.
on water slides like there's no tomorrow, dude.
Love a water park.
Well, they got him.
You got nothing but water parks.
Disney has 2.
Now, over at Universal, are you going to go to Harry Potter and the Escape from the Gringotts?
I know there was a Harry Potter ride.
Oh, my God, it's not a ride. It's a.
Like an
It's a whole
experience.
fucking world, dude.
Universe.
More of an experience than a ride.
You're sounding like a fucking muggle right now.
You saw Jaws, right?
Oh yeah,
You're going to be in the fucking Jaws movie. You're going to be on the boat.
That's scary.
With fucking Jaws coming
That's
after you.
fucking scary.
You get on the Back to the Future ride. Guess where you are? You're in
Where?
the fucking car flying around.
the fucking DeLorean.
Yes.
no,
No,
a different car.
No, they have a Pinto.
Biff's car.
You're going back to the 70s and you're going to be in a Pinto. You know what? Fuck this whole thing, man. Forget we even talked about this. You know what to do? Go to your fucking house for Christmas
Yeah.
break
Yeah.
with a bottle of tequila and sit there for 2 weeks like you do every other year. Let your fucking beard grow out so that when you come back on January 2nd, we could all go, oh, Chris, look at your beard. It looks scraggly.
Check it out. I'm gonna tell you the one thing I'm most curious about.
Guys,
No, not dudes. What's inside that giant Epcot ball?
Get off it, man. You're gonna.
that's what you're going to find out, man.
I'm not gonna spoil this for you.
Right, so
It's going
Epcot,
to be the best part of it all. You know what's inside of it, Chris?
what's inside of it?
Wonder.
Wow. I've lost that, so that would be great. Great
Lost
to
it. Did you ever have it to lose, dude? Did you ever have it to lose? Rich in Jersey.
This Rich in Michigan.
Okay. Sorry.
Hi, Rod. Hey,
buddy.
I was sitting here feeling bad for Chris Stanley getting picked on and everything until Vito asked him about his fast pass, and he didn't know what a fast pass was.
He doesn't know
Then it was all over for me.
Why does that make you turn on me? Why is that the fucking
Because
straw that broke your back?
Because it's like talking to somebody who's never experienced life, man.
Disney's life?
Yeah.
Yes, it's part of life, Chris. In just the same way that fucking that joy itself is part of life. This is what I worry about you. I mean, have you even ever gone to the Turtle Talk with Crush?
I have no idea what you just said. What the fuck is...
Have you been to Splash Mountain?
No.
Are you even curious about the Splash Mountain?
Turtle Talk seems odd.
Wouldn't you love to go on Expedition Everest?
I guess.
Yes.
I didn't want to climb a mountain.
Can I just say
You think
something?
oh,
Two
God.
words to you.
Okay.
Mission Space. Does that mean shit?
It does. I don't know what it means. I'm going to guess it's a space mission of some sort.
Oh, fuck.
A nautical adventure.
Have you been on the Star Tours?
What is Star Tours?
That's where the adventure continues, man. You're stuck in the movies like old school. You know they have an Avatar ride there now, right?
I love Avatar.
Have you been in the Haunted Mansion?
I've never been
Oh
to
my
these
God,
places.
Chris, the Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
That's
during
worth
Christmas?
the price of admission right there. Spoiler alert, look next to you at one point. Something happens.
You may see something that you did not think was there.
Well, these Imagineers do a great job, huh?
Yes, they are Imagineers.
You got it. Finally, you know something
They're
about
the
Disney.
first engineers that have imagination. Imagineers.
I mean, it sounds like this could be a wonderful adventure for me. But, like, there are, like, which park has the least children, would you say?
Children are part of it, Chris.
If I can, okay. And
What
the
do
fa-
you fucking care about the fact that you don't like children? Why don't you find the child in yourself? The
Okay.
child that never had a bedroom.
Never.
Remember when your mom used to say, "It's getting late, Chris, go to couch."
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Get on the
God.
futon, Chrissy. Pull it out. The futon, I meant.
What happened to you?
We know what happened.
What happened?
Better not to even ask.
I want to see the child in you come alive, Chris. I want to see the child in you wearing Mickey Mouse ears,
I don't know about that.
eating a Dole Whip.
What's a Dole Whip?
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
He's gonna love collecting and trading pins with children.
What's the pin thing?
Dude, you don't understand how big the pin game is at Disney World.
Are you even going to get on the Tower of Terror, or are you too fucking stupid to know what it is?
I mean, I'm going to guess it's a tower that's quite terrifying.
Oh, you're close this time, believe it or not. Brian in Georgia. Brian.
Yeah, Chris, I think you can probably get in on a reduced rate package for mentally disabled people.
Come on.
And I think your chick can probably get in for free just to escort you around. Ronnie, I've been listening to you for like 20 years, and, you know, I did feel bad for Chris for a long time, but he might be the dumbest motherfucker I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stupid because my parents never took me to Disney World.
It does sound stupid, dude.
Well, then they're the stupid ones, not me.
But do you know the difference between me and you?
What's that?
My parents never took me to Disney World. I went on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know who my parents took to Disney World?
Who?
My kids. Why? They ended up seeing their mistake through my eyes. And they went there, and guess what? They loved it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, they loved it. They loved the fucking tiki room so much they wanted to go there twice.
Yeah, they loved the tiki
It
stuff.
wasn't my favorite part, but you know what? I saw that they enjoyed it.
Here's the thing. My dad was overseas during the war. Okay? I mean, he was at
also-
real tiki bars.
He also, first thing on the list, Hall of Presidents.
Yeah. Very educational.
Me and my brother were like, when is this part over?
It's no fun. The presidents are talking.
I'm George Washington.
You know those robot presidents?
No,
the
they got
actual
the real
president.
Not
presidents.
the real
Chris.
presidents. I don't know, maybe it's a fucking hologram or a video screen.
It's my dream to build a railroad to go from one part of this great nation to the other. My hopes is that we control taxes so that we can balance our budget.
I'm definitely not going to that.
By the end of my administration, there will be a man on the moon. Mark my robot words. I hope to have chimps have the right to vote.
Which president was that?
I'm President Trump and I'm crazy. Just fucking enjoy your life, would you, Chris?
I do. That's what I want. That's why I want to have some fun.
Look, here's G-Man is on. He wants to talk to you. Go ahead, G-Man.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Ronnie B, you talking about the Hall of Presidents just reminded me the last time I went, it was right when Trump had just got elected. What was that, last year or so?
Yeah.
And the audience starts booing Trump when he's talking. I'm like, you fucking assholes are booing a machine. You realize that, right?
Wait, they put Trump in that quick? I didn't know that you went. I thought you went in after your term, not during.
That's exciting. That means they made both robots just in case. So somewhere there's a Hillary robot. They're just like, what are we gonna do with this thing?
There's kids in Africa playing with the Hillary robot.
Yeah, G-Man.
Pepper.
Yes.
Week before Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm taking my family down there. I got my 5-year-old kid. I got the wife. We got that park hopper and that fast pass. I got you, bro.
The fast pass gets you through things more quickly, I'm
Oh
guessing.
my God, you're obsessed with not knowing how a fast pass works.
I can't wait till you see the carousel of progress, dude.
What's the carousel of progress?
Oh my God. It's like looking into the future, but first you got to look through the past.
Wow. David in Florida.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
You got to do free Disney. I don't know if Gail's ever done that before.
Oh, that's
At
amazing.
6 o'clock, after 6 o'clock, you can park for free. You jump on the monorail and just drink around all the different resorts and watch the Christmas lights and characters.
So much fun. The whole place for Christmas. It's magical. Try to do yourself a favor and park in Chippendale. Okay.
Oh my God, yeah.
That way, and park heading, you point your car out of the park.
And make sure you don't drop your keys down the monorail.
Gail did that when she was a baby.
Oh, no.
And the fucking monorail left without me, my chick, my baby, and my car keys.
Holy shit.
On a hot day. And why would anyone give those keys to a baby to fucking play with, no matter how ADD she was? Anyway, that's the important thing. Matt, Boston. Matt.
Hey, guys, why is your director of sales not on the phone with Cuervo and Disney at this moment, putting together a co-promote? I would pay to see the footage of him running through Disney.
I'm going to tell you, I know Chris. I mean, this is a guy who pissed himself in a bouncy house. He's going to go crazy in Disney.
He's going to love it so much.
He's going to have the time of his life. I'll tell you something else I want to send down with him without him knowing. A hitman.
Oh, come on. Not the best 2 weeks of my life.
Yeah, I want you to end on a peak. Here's our good friend Johnny Go-Go.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
Can before we talk about Disney, can Maureen bake some cake pies, some cakes for the Thanksgiving show?
See, here's the thing. She bakes anyway. She's too nice. She's
too nice.
Way too nice.
She's too good to us.
Yeah.
And she outdid herself for real this time.
She's too good to be forgotten.
I do the PR for Hard Rock, as you guys know, but I also do the PR for Disney. And hearing the lack of knowledge that Chris has as an outsider, I feel that I failed in my public relations responsibilities.
I don't know how he couldn't know about it. It's like trying to teach somebody about the sun. Now, is it stay in the sky even at night? Now, is the moon just the sun at nighttime?
That's the other side of the sun, right? What?
Is
You know, there's
Spit
a
out some of that cupcake
Oh,
so
my
we can
God.
understand you.
I apologize.
Gulping bites. How do you drink a cupcake?
Did you hear me eat my cake so quietly?
So quietly. Like a rat was blowing at it. It was so nice.
It sounded like a raccoon through the airwaves.
I gotta tell you, Johnny, maybe you should be fired because this stuff all seemed. You know what? If I was doing PR for Disney, I would just say it's open. That would be my PR push. Guess what? It's open.
We're open to
Oh
that.
my God, he's choking on that cake.
Chris,
I got it down.
say baby.
Baby.
What do you want?
There's
Another
a
cupcake?
super,
Pass
there's
him
a
another
super private secret room in Cinderella's castle
Yeah.
that they only give to special people. One
Special
person gets
needs.
to stay there every night. I think I need to make some phone calls and get Chris the Cinderella suite. He can sleep like Sleeping Beauty.
Now that's like not an
All the
actual
other
giant
princesses.
castle, right? It's like scaled
It's
down.
cardboard, Chris. Yeah, it's cardboard.
What are you talking? Why would they scale it down? Look, kids, it's a small castle.
Nice, so it doesn't blow over.
Look,
it's a giant, beautiful castle.
This is what I heard
You've not
before.
seen a picture of people sitting in front of the
Of course, I've seen
300
pictures of this
foot
You guys said it was higher than their knees.
I heard they use like some
Stonehenge.
weird like forced perspective to make the castle look bigger than
Where
it
are
is.
you hearing this? You've never heard any of the real stuff, yet you've heard the online strange conspiracy theories.
Yes, I
Chris
have.
is on Reddit. Chris is on Reddit. You can't stand
Oh,
next to the
Chris.
castle because you'll be taller than the castle.
Unbelievable.
I mean, look.
I was in the castle. My legs were sticking out the other end. So small. What is wrong with you, man?
I'm just if Disney's all high and mighty and powerful, then they should have an actual real castle there.
There is.
All right.
Why are you screaming about something that they built day one?
Maybe it needs a renovation.
You haven't
It is
seen
only
anything.
it's only one dimensional though, Chris. It's just the front.
You know, Chris,
Bullshit.
Chris is going to come back and act like, oh, you know what? I didn't think I was going to like it, and I ended up loving it more than anything else in the world.
I know he's going to be like that.
So we call those people Disney files, and they are like obsessed with everything Mickey.
He's
Their
a
houses
file,
are
but
decorated.
different. Okay.
Yeah.
Pass me
So
over
Chris
some
comes
of the other pie cake.
Chocolate
Where it is not-
Chocolate.
Are you
Chocolate.
allowed? Maybe he's not allowed at Disney because of the other
Problems?
stuff.
I had no problems. All my arrests have been drug related.
But
Oh,
it might be.
stop
you know how
bragging,
sometimes
Chris.
people can't go next to a school.
Yeah.
I
He
wonder
can't
if
go
it's like
next to a
that.
pool.
Yeah, he can't go next to Disney. You're
Jesus.
standing across the street.
I feel like the rates would be better than in the park.
In
All
the
right, I'll
park.
see you in a couple weeks for Thanksgiving, buddies.
Peace. Can't wait.
Peace out, Johnny. Go.
Chris, you've turned this into fucking dog shit once again.
I didn't want to. I'm just a curious man.
Rich the fireman, I did not get a chance to see him last night, but you guys did?
Yeah.
And he sent these paintings over?
Yes, he did.
Look at how beautiful those
They're
are.
unbelievable.
They're gorgeous.
He's like such an incredible talent.
I already have some of his art hanging up in my home. It's the one thing on my wall. It's a nice picture of a bottle of wine and a wine glass. I feel like it's classy.
It's beautiful.
And there's a beautiful picture of a piece of garlic there. That's awesome.
I know, it's
Look at like, the
unbelievable.
shading on it. It's so pretty.
Man, I didn't think I'd like this chocolate chip pie. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I can't really move past the cranberry because it's
I
so
know.
good.
It was the best day of our lives.
Oh, this is so great. And Chris is going to Disney and everything. You got to go to Disney. I mean, it's not even a joke.
I'm not joking with you.
And the heat's not too bad in Florida.
Oh my
December.
God.
I'm asking because it sounds like I'm gonna be walking around all fucking
Screaming,
day
man.
long.
Stop screaming.
All right.
You're not going to be walking. You're going to be gliding.
They have hoverboards?
No, man, in your heart.
Oh,
You're going to be so
That
happy.
fucking heavy heart you've been carrying around is going to glow like a glow stick.
Heavy clogged heart.
I can't wait till you help Aerosmith save rock and roll.
Oh, that's going to be so fun.
Back to Universal.
No, that's at Disney.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's it. That's at the I believe that's at MGM or whatever Disney movie area is now.
How do I help save rock and roll? Aerosmith.
You're going to
learn
find
on the
out.
ride.
Now, is Aerosmith robots too, like the presidents?
Chris,
Yeah.
wait until you get there. Why do you want to know the ending of this thing?
He wants to spoil all of it. Here's another thing. Every 10 feet, you can get a churro. What about that?
Love churros.
We'll take one when you stand online to save rock and roll. Sam All-Star, Sam All. Dude, there's a thing over at Universal, the King Kong thing, where you were actually on the Roosevelt Island tram with King Kong after you. We were in the movie Twister that you love.
I love Twister.
Look, you can do all this shit if you go to Orlando, Florida, man. Just do it.
And then, all right,
Jen lived there.
Yeah, because she loves Disney so much.
I didn't know that was the reason.
Yeah, it's everyone's reason.
All right, so Universal, there's movie rides. Disney, there's whatever Disney rides. Now, Epcot, outside the giant ball, are there other rides?
Oh, my God, back to the Epcot.
You're the only one I've ever heard that's only looking forward to Epcot at Disney World.
I don't know the fucking difference, Vito.
That's
Screaming, man. Because you scream like that, you're going to be bad for the park.
He's attacking me.
It's just weird. Like, anybody you speak to is like, maybe I'll make Epcot. Like that.
Really? I think that's the most impressive thing out of this whole fucking place.
Have you heard of the fucking Animal Kingdom?
I don't care about going to a goddamn zoo.
Not a fucking zoo, man. You can see the Tree of Life from Lion King in real.
I don't like cartoons. Movies.
Stop yelling, dude.
Look at this giant ball. I know you guys have seen it in real life, but that seems like the most impressive thing to me.
It is pretty fucking
That's
cool.
huge.
It is cool. I can't wait till you find
You're
out
not
what's
thinking
inside.
that it's a tiny fucking ball. They just
Forced perspective, man. They're trying to fuck with our heads.
You're not going to like the heat at Epcot. There's not a lot of shade.
What do you mean the heat? It's going to be hot everywhere.
Epcot is you're going to be hiding under that ball for most of the day.
It's
fine. It's the only thing I want to go
the
see.
hottest of the parks. Everyone knows that.
But then you'll retreat to your all-star budget hotel. And everything will be fine.
Stop fucking bringing up the budget hotels to me.
Yeah, you'll go home at night, run through a hose. How old were you when you went there?
It was like, I think like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
We took Amtrak from here to Florida.
Just like Chris, perfect age.
Chris is really at such a fun age.
Yeah.
So fun.
But there are like a ton of adults who still go there now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be like fucking like one dude and there's a bunch of children. I'm the only dude there.
You think they're making their fucking billions on kid bucks? Like, no.
You're not going to Chuck E. Cheese, Chris.
All right.
Have you been there?
No, I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese.
What?
Never made it down there. The Stanley household.
What, did you just top out at like McDonald's play pits?
What? There was nothing wrong with the McDonald's playpen. All right, for like a fucking 10-year-old. Okay,
Playpen.
whatever it is.
Baby?
A playpen is nothing for anyone above a fucking year-old.
I don't know. God damn it.
You're ruining this whole fucking trip.
I don't want to ruin.
Ruined everything for your family. I saw this sad picture in your parents' eyes.
They had a lot going on. All right, they were worried about money.
A lot of times you can fix that by dad going to work.
Yeah, that. Hey, what if both of us had a job? That's a weird fucking theory.
Seems like they saved a lot of money by not going to Disney World, though.
Yeah. Well, it didn't show in the
Did
apartment
he ever say
decor.
why he wouldn't work?
I think he just didn't want to.
Okay.
Or like he got fired a lot from his jobs.
Mm.
And just blamed the as he said it, Jews who were his bosses. That was my dad.
Well, you know enough now that racism is a bad thing, and being an anti-Semite is almost a disease in itself.
Thank you. And and now
your dad was closer to ISIS than an actual American.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm 20% Ashkenazi Jew, so one of them were self-hating.
Probably why he hated Jews so much, because who your real dad is. 20% of your real dad.
Yeah.
But we got a break here. We'll what do we got coming up? Are we doing something today?
No, that's
tomorrow. Oh, Millhouse is coming by today, right?
Chris Millhouse will be here at 2 p.m.
The kid's a blast. All right, let's break. Back. We'll try to tell Chris what it's like to have a birthday cake. This is Bennington. Bennington. Make sure you're listening tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's Gilbert Gottfried, his wife, and his film director. It's a hysterical hour. All about the new Gilbert movie. You don't know Gilbert. I don't know Gilbert. None of us have known Gilbert all these years.
No, he's such a character.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be very wild to see him in his home space.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
With his family.
What, his beautiful $3 million Tribeca apartment? Who knew that he had such taste in home decor? All right, so that's tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and then all weekend long. This is the Bennington Show. Still putting together Thanksgiving as well as some other stuff we're doing. This has been our busiest year ever.
Yeah, it's been crazy busy. I feel like we've done so many live shows. We've had so many projects.
If someone says, what was your favorite year? I'm going to say Chris Stanley's last year with us was such a great time.
No.
We packed so much in.
Right before Vito burned out. It just seemed like we were going like a bat out of hell. This goddamn phone's driving me nuts. Sometimes, like, I touch it and it's just like, oh, nothing works. And then a second later, everything works.
That's annoying.
Yeah,
Do you have to, like, reboot?
I don't know what I have to do. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was happier when I just had a phone in the kitchen and nowhere else.
You can't trust your phones. I'm telling you this right now.
Why would I trust the phone? It's just a phone. It's like saying don't trust your toaster.
It's even worse now. I posted there's something on the Interrobang called "Couple Attempts to Prove Facebook is Always Listening." So there's a video. A couple says, we think our phone's listening to us even when we're not using it. So they say, we don't own a cat, so we're going to keep saying the word cat food today, like for one day. They just keep putting the word cat food in their conversation. 2 days later, they go on Facebook. They don't own a cat. They never talk about cat food. They don't have any pets.
I thought you said they don't talk about cat food, and then they talked about it.
No, they don't. I'm just saying they don't have a cat, so why would they ever talk about cat food? So
they did talk about it.
Well, yeah. Okay.
What is he trying to say?
Okay, what he's trying to say is they don't own a cat. They've never Googled any cat supplies or cat food or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as an experiment, just around the phone, they keep saying, oh, did you pick up the cat food? Oh, okay, that's really cat food. And they just keep using that phrase to each other verbally.
Without Siri,
without Siri, just to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, they've never Googled cat food or any cat supplies because they don't actually own a cat. So that's what he's trying to set up.
2 days later, they go on Facebook and they're getting ads for cat food. Just nothing but ads for cat food. Proving that our phones are listening to us all the time.
It's really,
I've heard that from a lot of people.
But that's so weird because not that it would be any more comforting if you were on your phone because you don't want your phone listening to you anyway. You don't want this, but this is just like, it's just laying on a table.
Yeah. It's just near you and it's listening for keywords.
Let me try it. Cat food. I'm going to go online. There's a thing for cat food. I think I'm going to get it though. I'm going to buy it. This is helpful.
Do you have a cat?
I'm going to get a cat after I get enough food. I don't want
He likes to be prepared.
Yeah, I don't want a cat to come in and then start starving while I'm trying to put together my cat food budget. I'm going to have plenty of cat food and then get a cat.
So, over the weekend, my girlfriend's roommates get a new dog. The dog starts barking a lot. They're talking about getting the dog a bark collar because the dog won't stop barking.
What's a bark collar?
It's inhumane.
It's a collar that I think it buzzes. Or does it shock? I've never heard of one before either.
I think it sprays your dog in the face with citronella every time it barks.
Jesus.
Not good.
So they keep up bringing up...
What is this, an S&M powder they're running?
They keep up bringing up bark collar. 3 days later, I'm on my computer at home, and fucking bark collar ads start coming up everywhere. They're just trying to sell me bark collars. And this was on my phone. It must have been listening to them say bark collar. I'm on home on my computer, and I'm getting bark collar ads.
Are you sure you didn't drunk Google bark collar? Because that sounds like something you would do.
Don't you notice that before that you were just getting jerk-off supplies?
Fleshlights, huh?
Yeah, we live in Black Mirror, Chris. We know it.
It's terrible.
It's pretty fucking creepy. It's really creepy.
Creepy or helpful?
Both?
It's creepily helpful. All they want you to do is buy stuff, man. Just buy it.
And then just sell your data to other companies to sell you more ads. Data, excuse me. I didn't want to mispronounce anything. It's very creepy.
All right, then I'm just going to keep saying Suzanne Plachette around my phone and see if I don't end up with a bunch of Suzanne Plachette stuff.
Did you see this other thing that people are saying? Someone had tweeted this thing that if you search your phone in the photos section where there's like a little search window and you put in the phrase brassiere, all your photos come up that have anything like that show skin, show a little cleavage, or looks like you're wearing something in the shape of a bra. So that's just your phone categorizing that for, they don't know why. Like, why is that even a thing that needed to be categorized? And I think Chrissy Teigen tested it out to see if it was true.
Yeah, she did.
And did it work?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
All of her brassiere photos.
She needs a bar collar. Chris in Indiana.
Yeah, we actually bought one of these collars for our dogs because my sister had it. It worked for them. And what they do is you have three options. You can emit a sound, a high-pitched noise that they just find irritating, and that quits them.
Nice.
It makes them stop barking. And then secondly is a vibration. And then thirdly, you can go to the shock collar, which none of us would use that with our pets, because it is a little inhumane.
Well, Gail, I see you saying no to it, right?
I don't like the idea of it because somebody had suggested it to me when I first got Birdie because she was having some issue with being left alone. She's a rescue because I'm a really good person. And she was having issue with it at first. And I looked up what they had suggested to me, and I was like, this is crazy. And tons of people were like, this shit doesn't work because a garbage truck could go down the street and then zap your dog because it just sounds like a loud sound. And then your dog doesn't...
And you don't think that's funny?
I mean, but you're not even home to enjoy it. I mean, you don't even... They're just alone getting zapped.
Why can't you have this for kids? Why can't we just put on
a scream collar?
Yeah, scream collar so the kids are uncomfortable. Now, there was a thing, obviously in Florida, obviously in Tampa, Florida, where a guy who had a pizza parlor, and the pizzas are named after action figures, right? And he finally said, I'm banning kids from this restaurant. And he's getting a lot of people saying, you're a monster, you're a piece of garbage, this is prejudiced, as well as other people saying, thank God. I am glad to come to your restaurant. He gave his reasons, which is not so much the kids, but parents don't watch kids. And he has a backyard thing, and the kids are just running around, and he thinks he's going to get sued when one of these kids gets hurt or beat up by an adult. There used to be apartments where they could say no kids. Mm-hmm. And people were like, good, I like it. I'm a young single. I don't want to be around children. I like to throw a lot of parties. I like to do cocaine. I don't want fucking kids running around. And people sued and were able to say, you can't do that. The court said like this, how is this different than if you said no Jews or no blacks or no Catholics? It is oddly a prejudice.
Yeah, of course it is.
When you say no kids. But then, isn't it prejudice not to give a kid a cocktail? 844 Rock God, 84 Rock God. So, I'll just say this. If you went to a pizza place and you saw a family being turned away, would you feel the same way that as if you saw a minority family being turned away? Or do you like, hey, kids, that's a different proposition?
Look, when I worked in restaurants, it's incredibly frustrating when parents don't watch their kids. I worked at a restaurant with a backyard, and people just used to let their children loose,
yes.
And then they would run around like it was a playground when adults were eating and drinking. It's very frustrating. However, it's something we had to deal with. It's just what we were not a bar. And so you cannot say people under 18. You do have to cater to the fact.
This place is not a bar either. If you look it up, it's like Pizza Tampa.
Yeah. I think if you serve food there, you kind of have to keep it open. And I'm saying that as somebody who experienced so many annoying children and so many, I would agree with him. Annoying parents is really the issue. People who just don't fucking look after their kid and people who don't tell their children, no, don't do that. Stop doing that.
No, but you would think a pizza place, particularly one named after action figures, would be for children. But action figures are for people like Vito now. An adult who's stymied, I guess is the best thing to put in his development. Vito, would you go to a place that turned away children?
Yeah, I would, because I think that there's places that serve pizza that are good for children. And
But you could say the same thing if it was any minority. You could say, look, if a guy put up a fucking sign that said no Puerto Ricans at his bar, you can't have the excuse. There's plenty of places for Puerto Ricans to go drink. You know what I mean? Luis J. Gomez is going to be able to find a drink somewhere in this town. That still would not take away the fact that this guy's prejudiced.
But you're legally allowed to have places that are like age, like 18 and older and stuff like that. So I think once it's
but this is not a bar. If you serve food, this is a restaurant. So you can't.
It's a pizza place. It's not.
You have to cater to all types of people. You have to have handicap accessibility and a bathroom, and
there's plenty of places for people to go in wheelchairs. Why do they got to come into our place? That's what he's saying.
But that's illegal. You legally have to have handicap accessible.
But this is what we're saying. Would this be a legal thing? You didn't before, and people felt free not to. Even when there was a law, they actually had to be fined. Let's go to our two young ladies, because I don't know which way they're going to go.
This is tricky. Let's bring over Imani.
Imani and Jen, they're also close to being children.
Right.
They're just new to the adult world. Does it bother you, Jen, if people were to say no children?
Yeah, it would bother me.
It would bother you?
Yeah, it would.
Surprisingly, because you're normally so foo-foo in your ways and places of party. And what would bother you about that?
Like at a restaurant?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just kind of discriminating against kids.
It is a form of discrimination, but what we are saying is, children, you're not people. You are something closer to the animal world. You know, you're more like a ferret that has a little bit of money.
You're like a ferret that'll grow into a person.
Yes, if ferrets grew into people, you're like, wait till you're a person, little ferret. Monty, what about for you? Would it bother you?
Honestly, no, it wouldn't.
You're okay with that?
Yes.
Now, would you also be okay if it said no Puerto Ricans?
I mean, no.
Yes, see? But why do we not say that children are people and don't have the same rights as a person? Because it's literally what we're saying.
Because sometimes children just don't listen.
Yeah, they're the Puerto Ricans. Luis J. Gomez never. I could work out his whole life would turn for the better if he would just listen. But no, they don't listen to those people, right? I think that any child would listen to the right parent, but there's a lot of parents who are just like Carl, and the kid doesn't feel like he has to listen.
I mean, I will admit it's very frustrating because sometimes you get these moms who are just like so burnt out, or like dads who like they've been
Vito
hearing
is.
Screaming children like all the time, and then they don't like they've tuned it out, but we haven't. So there'll be a kid just like screaming their head off, and they're just sitting there like, yeah, so anyway, I was telling you. I'm like, we're not used to that sound. That sound is horrible to our ears. Like, you have to say something. So I agree. There are shitty parents out there, and it sucks, but this is what you have to do to accommodate people. Also, not only is it named after action stars or whatever, it's pizza. It's literally children's favorite food.
It would be easier and a more acceptable social restaurant, right? If I put up this sign that said, no elderly Jewish women. They're too loud. They're too pushy.
Too picky.
Yeah, they're too picky.
I mean, they say nothing nice about our food.
But that I don't get the call to do that. And there's some of the most annoying people, and they know it. They know that they're annoying. I talk to them all the time, and they go, I know I'm a pain in the ass, but I want things my way. Here is Kim in Canada.
Hey, Ron.
Hey,
I think you're wrong. You're wrong on this one because parents people choose to have kids and never discipline them and teach them that they can scream at the top of their lungs in a restaurant, but you don't choose your ethnicity, right?
Well, you could have. Then why not? The thing is to say that it's a choice whether you have kids. What I'm saying, you're not even just penalizing the child. I mean, the parent. You're penalizing the child. You're saying we're penalizing you.
But the child doesn't want to go there. The parent wants to go. The parent wants to stuff his face with pizza, not this kid. The kid
kids don't like pizza. You're right, Kim. I remember my dad would drag me off to eat pizza, and I'd be like, "No, isn't there some kind of a health food restaurant that's close?" Pizza is the number one thing for children.
Yeah.
If you gave them a choice every night of what you could eat, it would be pizza. My school used to serve the worst tasting pizza in the world. And every class leading up to lunch, we'd be going fucking just talking. It's fucking pizza day, motherfuckers. I know what I'm getting. Pizza. It was basically a piece of bread with some melted cheese and a little bit of salt. And we still were ecstatic with it.
Pizza is the favorite food of the Ninja Turtles, okay? And every kid wants to be a Ninja Turtle.
David in San Francisco.
Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of going to weddings, but I'm going to one this weekend.
Yeah.
And on the invitation, it says, no children. That's kind of a thing when you go to a wedding. You want to see how people's families are doing. But if that's what they want, well, that's what you get.
Well, you're talking about a different thing. You're talking about a private event, right?
Right.
A private event where those people are not saying children. They don't want children there. Now, that would also be me to go, oh, good. This is a reason for me to get out of your fucking wedding.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's a little obnoxious to say.
I'm
no
going to
children.
say this. It's for the same reason. It's a private event, so obviously this wouldn't be illegal. But I think it's so shitty, and I don't even have kids. Because I think kids are a fun part of weddings.
Well, first of all, when everyone's doing the twist, it's hysterical. And then you're slow dancing with your niece stepping on your feet.
Yeah, that's adorable. Come on. And again, you're making it difficult for the people with kids. You're
Right.
saying get a babysitter or travel and be away from your kids. It's annoying.
Ryan in Philly. Ryan, what's up?
Ronnie B.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thought. My wife and I have 3 kids. We've taken them out to restaurants since they've been little. We just eat out a lot. Nobody feels like cooking. Anyway, so we know we discipline our kids, treat them how to act in a restaurant, and so they behave no matter where we go. I think you should have to certify your kids like a service dog. You certify them, have them take a class, and if they know how to act in a restaurant, then they're allowed to go.
But you know
Otherwise,
how
no
those
good.
kids are going to act when it's time to get the license. You know what I mean? And then there's going to be suspended license. I mean, a kid will know how to act under the right circumstances. Now, what just happened, Chris?
Oh my God, are you okay?
Cupcake went down the wrong way.
It went down the wrong way because you put too much cupcake in your mouth. That's your 7th cupcake, by the way.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, you've had a lot.
I haven't been counting.
I've been counting.
At first, I thought, it's taking him a long time to eat that cupcake. And then I just saw a pile of wrappers next to him. I go, oh, my God.
You didn't know that it wasn't the same cupcake?
Yeah, he's been chowing down.
They're good cupcakes. Thank you, Maureen.
Rick in Wisconsin. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Your phone sucks. Here's Jack in Michigan.
Yeah, I think they should be allowed to not allow kids. I'm going to a hotel in Jamaica, and they don't allow children because people that don't have children are really annoyed by children, and it's nice to not have them there.
I get that, but you could make the same case for any minority. And people used to. People used to say, look, they have their own hotel on their side of town, and they're happy with that. And people could live that way. You know what I mean? And feel like they were doing the right thing. What we are saying here is that a child is not a person. That's what we're saying with this action. that child is not a person the way I am.
Seems highly illegal.
I don't think that these things are going to pass muster. Yeah, most of the places that do not allow children is for the children's benefit. Like, hey, you're not able to take that kid to the bar. But there are plenty of bars who they hide the fact that they're a bar behind their food stuff.
Right.
And my club, when I had a comedy club, we used to swear that 51% of our income came from food. I'm sure it was probably closer to 10 or 15%, but it was a completely different alcohol license.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to pay for the giant alcohol license. We wanted the cheap little restaurant.
Right.
So we used to say that we sold 7 and 7 burgers. Now, Chris, even though that you don't like children,
yeah,
do you get my point on this one?
No, I understand, and also I think, like, even as a parent, like, it must suck if you're bringing out your family to a place and then it's like, no, get out of here. Especially if you have like a shitty kid who does run around and act up.
Well, look, I think that you have the right, the same right that you do if an adult was running around and acting up, you have a right to say, hey, you're misbehaving in this restaurant. We don't want your service. I don't see any problem with that. But you can't ban all kids for what that one kid is doing.
Yeah. I mean, if someone acts like a drunk, you're allowed to kick them out. If somebody started just like fucking with all the silverware and was screaming, you would be allowed to kick a person out, a single person out for their behavior.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Why doesn't the restaurant just say, I'm going to say, look, your child is running around. Either the child sits here with you or we can't serve you. What's wrong with that? I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I think that's
but I don't like this that adult, that person is very short.
No thank you.
Now my kids never acted up in a fucking restaurant. And not for anything that I said to them or their mom said to them. They were just cool people. Vito, did you act up when you were a kid?
I acted up everywhere except for like restaurants. I'd act up in school and in camps and shit, but for some reason at restaurants I knew like don't fucking run around. And
it seems like your mom took you out to eat and took you to movies and stuff. You probably knew.
Yeah, like
Don't
I
be a nut.
would never yell in a movie theater as a kid. I'd never scream. I'd never like make a bunch of noise in a public setting because my mom taught me better than that. But like that's a good point. Like you could be a shitty kid in one place and then know that you shouldn't be screaming at a restaurant.
Chris, you a shitty kid or
I was kind of a shitty kid, especially in department stores. I would run away from my parents, find a rack of clothes, and hide in the middle.
Oh, that was always fun.
And it terrified them every single time.
What, did they might find you?
At restaurants, I cried a lot.
Why?
I don't know. I just remember having meltdowns in Chinese food restaurants. Like, nice Chinese food restaurants.
Probably because you wanted pizza.
Matt in Illinois.
Hey, guys. Here's an angle. Kids of any nationality are annoying. So I think you can make that broad, sweeping generalization and say
it's just not true.
You know what? No kids. Puerto Rican kids, annoying.
What you're saying, I know that you're trying to be funny with it, but
I really think kids, are generally speaking, are just annoying.
Yeah, but you can't generally speak in a fucking country that has rights for each individual. Do you understand that? One of the things
adult individuals.
Yes, but what I'm saying is it's the same. Your prejudice is the same, which is to blame innocent people on what guilty people have done. That would be like me saying everyone who calls here is a dick. And it's not true. It's just some people are.
And by the way, children actually do have rights. There are human rights. There are rights.
Because they're human beings.
Yeah.
They're literally human beings. So the same.
But they can't. have credit cards or rent cars or,
First of all,
drink
I would always
alcohol.
the rent car.
We defy them. We deny them certain rights. So
Not only that,
deny them.
by the way, slow down. We also deny adults the right to those things. Okay, you can't rent a car until you're fucking 25. I still don't see how we get away with that. I still don't understand how that happens. How are you supposed to travel? I guess Uber now. Uber.
It's an Uber. You heard of this thing called Uber? But
the things that you're talking about, we deny that to children for their safety. We deny them alcohol and cigarettes for their safety, not for the safety of others. We don't want them running around at 2 o'clock in the morning because it's not good for them. But why would we deny them the fact to go into a pizza restaurant because some fucking fat guy is sitting there who doesn't want to see a kid running around while he's watching a ball game? That's a totally different thing. I get the fact that they're not old enough to start driving at 7. I get that. I'd like to see this case taken to court. I'd just like to see what we do with it. I'd like to see it go all the way to the Supreme Court. This is what the courts should be for, to talk about these frivolous, stupid things. But I don't know if I would if this was my pizza place and they say I will not serve children, I don't know if I would feel any differently than if I heard them say we will not serve Puerto Ricans, because you know how they are. They're loud. They play their music loud.
You can't control them.
Here's Dan. Dan, what's up?
Hey guys, when I got married, we had a no kid policy just for the fact that I spent a lot of money on our wedding. We don't want kids running around screaming, ruining our day.
It's why I would never go to your wedding. You have every right to do that, but there's nothing more annoying than somebody who sees something as their day. Someone who throws a party and tells others how they can behave. They're the most egotistical, annoying people I've ever met in my life. And when we had Eastside Dave's wedding, right? And Solera's kid ran up on stage to be next to her mom during the wedding. It was the best part of the entire wedding.
Aww.
We all cracked up. But some people were unhappy, and then you can see the people that are comfortable with kids and people that are uncomfortable with kids. And I get it. Chris doesn't like kids. I get that.
No.
But that's his thing to deal with, not that other person. Anymore, if someone said, I'm not comfortable with blacks, that's your thing to deal with, not the people who are of color. It doesn't make sense to me how crazy people get. Here is Devin. Devin, what's up?
Hey, Ron. Just looking at it from the aspect of that people today, it stems from a social contract issue where people, like you've discussed, don't look over their kids, pay attention. So when it gets bad, it's getting to the point where businesses see that they can probably benefit more and be more profitable if they do exclude children, and because people want to be able to go places where there are not children, just like you can go to restaurants.
Just replace the name children with any minority. There are people who are very more comfortable, and there are people who won't show up places if there's minorities there.
There's also places adults can go to be without children. Those already exist, and there are things that children are not allowed to partake in. You can go have your pizza and then go to a bar afterwards, and children are not allowed in that bar.
Yeah.
Should not be allowed in that bar.
And so why should they be mutually exclusive, though?
No, because that place the bar is to protect children, not to have people there who don't like to be around other fucking types of people.
And I've said before on the show that any bar that does allow children, when I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm like, look, this is adult time. This is a place that the alcohol is being served. Adults are having a conversation, and I don't think that's a good spot for a kid.
And I'm here to feed my addiction.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm here to get fucking banged out.
I don't want to see someone with hope and life ahead of them.
I don't want them staring at me as I'm laying, slurring, and swearing to people that I can drive. I don't need to look up and see innocent eyes while that's happening. Look, don't get me wrong. I don't like fucking children any more than anybody else does. I'm about the same level as anybody else. But I could say this about you couldn't say it's more comfortable for us to be in this bar without women. People used to do that in this country. There's still fucking places in Ireland to this day that says men on one side, women on the other. Fucking crazy. But it existed, and people were like, yeah, because this way we can say what we want without the women folk around. What? Here's Sean. Sean, what's up?
Buddies.
Yeah.
So I have kids, and it's frustrating to take them out sometimes. But what I think is, you know what? Kids are just social idiots. They don't know how to behave, and yet there's adults who are social idiots.
First of all, you could say this. You could replace the word kids with any minority group that you wanted to, right? And you could say
totally
they're social idiots, and then you would see a prejudice. Some kids are social idiots. No one doubts that. Some kids are brats. No one doubts that. Some kids are just born bad. Nobody doubts that. But again, you can say that about any minority group that you wanted to, or majority group. We would have plenty of clubs in this country that said this is for our kind of people. And we all decided, oh, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? That's an awful thing. I'm applying the same things to these human beings that I would any other human being. That's all. I'm not saying anything that you're saying about the fact that they fuck up parties isn't true. But this is a pizza restaurant that serves pizza, named after action figures. What have we said? No adults should see these movies. No adults should see Star Wars. I would even make the case, it's probably bad for our country. For people to show up and enjoy Planet of the Apes and fucking Iron Man and watch wrestling. It's probably bad for our country. So what? If you're asking me if these kids can drink, they can handle it. If they can learn to drink at a social up, they do it. They do it in Europe. A kid could have wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And look at them. They got some old fucking buildings over there. Really old. Most of them look like shit. And they're literally in ruins. But people love them. Let's go over here to Tim. Tim, what's up?
Hey, Bennington, how are you?
Good, man.
Hey, the difference, though, is, you know, like with Lewis, he's always going to be Puerto Rican. Kids aren't always going to be kids. So you can't really call kids minorities. Like, you know, that's a temporary condition. A minority is a permanent thing.
So you're saying as long as there's a future where you'll get more rights, people should be happy. Yeah, I think we've tried that with minorities as well. Mark, what's up?
How about a cover charge for kids, making a sliding scale?
All right, so give it
The younger, the more they pay.
All right, so, but the fact of the matter is, 3-year-olds can be fucking better behaved than fucking 15-year-olds or 16-year-olds.
That's true.
I mean, if there's anything that I don't want to be around in my life, it's teen boys.
Oh, God.
They're big.
What is that sound? It's like low and high pitch mixing at once in the vocal cords is maybe the worst.
And then their stupid opinion, like, look at Chris back there. He looks like a dick.
What'd you say? Dumb.
Huh? All I'm saying is that your cop car makes more noise than my guitar. I swear to God, we're fucking hanging out partying one time. Fucking cops roll up, and this fucking long-haired dick says this to a cop. Your cop car makes more noise than my guitar. Ping, pow, boom. I'm looking at the fucker. I'm like, I'm holding, and I know other fucking people are here. It's time to shut the fuck up.
But it did rhyme. So clever.
Cop car. And that's how they are all the time. You just fucking hear them like, Superman's gay. It's like, oh, you're the worst. I'd much rather be hanging out with 3-year-olds than you. She's a skank. We need to break again, Christopher?
Oh, yeah, we need to break one more time.
Who's coming in today?
Chris Millhouse. He's hosting Comedy Juice this Tuesday, November 7th at 9:30 p.m. as part of the New York Comedy Festival, comedyjuice.com for tickets. And he'll be hosting Comedians in the Hall at Liberty Hall in New York City, Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. thebreslin.com for tickets.
Where's Liberty Hall?
It's in the Ace Hotel.
Oh, that's a nice place. The Ace Hotel. Who's all in the show, do you know?
I don't know who's in the show. I'll find out.
Don't you wish you could watch your favorite primetime TV shows without commercial interruptions? Dish has you covered. Now with AutoHop from Dish, you can watch shows recorded with primetime anytime, commercial free.
Watch the most popular shows on your favorite networks without wasting time sitting through commercials. The season finale of your favorite show just got better with AutoHop from Dish. No more waiting through long TV commercial breaks. Just get back to enjoying the action because only Dish is tuned in to you.
To learn more, call 1-844-CALL-DISH or go to dish.com or visit a local retailer near you. Requires credit qualification, 24-hour month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Taxes and surcharges not included. Other restrictions apply. For full details, 1-844-CALL-DISH. Dish, tuned into you. It's the Bennington Show. Ron Bennington, there's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Our buddy Chris Millhouse is here.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Chris has come in while we were having a hangover from last night.
Yeah, it was like the energy in this room.
We have no energy whatsoever. We have no energy whatsoever.
Well, I peak. Like, that's the thing. If I laugh too much, if I have too much of a good time, eventually
it all comes
crashing down. They're like,
well,
what does this all mean anyway?
Millhouse, he invents his own laughter wherever he goes.
Yeah, that's it.
They call him the king of swing right now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Isn't that great?
Good nickname.
Yeah.
I wish that was true.
What's happening with you, buddy?
Hey, buddy, thanks for having me back. This is amazing.
You got the big comedy festival coming up,
yeah,
right?
New York Comedy Festival. We were just talking about in the hallway. We're going to see you around a little bit, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
What do you got planned?
I'm hosting Comedy Juice, which is in the festival at Gotham.
Oh, I didn't know Comedy Juice is part of the festival.
Yeah, they've done it. This will be the third year in a row they've done it.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm hosting that one Tuesday, November 7th at 9:30. And then I've got another show during the festival on Saturday the 11th at Liberty Hall, which is pretty cool.
Liberty Hall is where exactly?
It's in the Ace Hotel. It's 29th and between 5th and 6th.
So you're really not even traveling that far from your normal haunts, are you?
No, just sticking around the sticking around the neighborhood. Not chasing any waterfalls, you know.
Chris, are you doing anything during the festival this year?
I have no plans as of yet during the festival.
They tell me they want me to do a couple of interviews and some other stuff, but then hearing back from them is always a difficult thing. And I would love to start promoting these events because they're talking about doing some good stuff, but it's always a matter of we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And this isn't like, oh, this is my dream to do these things. They said, would you like to? And I go, yeah, it sounds okay. But then they're like, something's going on, and we're going to let you know. I would like to promote
why don't you do the Saturday with me? You can.
If I could, I would, but there might be something else planned. I can't.
There's a million things going on.
Yeah, I can't even say. I mean, I would definitely say yes to you, but I don't know what the other stuff is. And Chris, you refuse to keep an eye out on my life, right?
That's all I want to do is keep an eye out on your life.
I don't think that's true.
Kind of weird.
Why is that weird? And it is true, Rod. Don't let anyone else say anything else about me.
The last time I was here, though, you need to keep an eye on your own life because remember
What's that
we were
supposed to
talking about you were on Tinder with some underage kids.
No, there wasn't underage kids.
Oh yeah, I do
He
remember
went to
that.
jail for that.
No, I didn't.
This is how long
You were
it's
like, she may or may not be 17. I don't know.
She was 20 and she's from Albania.
That's the same.
That's how long ago it was, by the way, since I've been
Albania.
back.
Isn't that the same place that the terrorist was from? The
Oh
other
my
night?
God,
yeah.
Chris.
Chris, you're fucking terrorist now?
Well, you know, she wanted to be in a hotel room. She was attractive. What's wrong with that?
Nothing in my book.
And that's seen her since.
Yeah.
Well, I will only say this to you, Chris.
Yeah.
You're a letdown, and then we'll move on.
Well, that hurts. I don't want to be a
I don't
letdown.
mean that. I don't mean that in a bad way.
You sound just like my dad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But see, Chris has no parents, so I'm going to be here for him.
Okay.
I'm going
Thank
to be
you.
his
Perfect.
parents. But you know, this has been a while since he's back. Chris is not only with a steady relationship.
Oh, good.
This
It's been a
one
while. Yeah.
may be the real.
Oh, good,
deal.
dude.
And
I'm
she's
glad to
a-
hear that, man.
She's a Costa Rican, right?
She's Costa Rican.
And there's
Good
talks
for
of
you.
engagement.
But there's no talks of engagement.
Well, we've been talking
Well,
about it.
Gail's pushing for an engagement,
We've been
apparently.
talking about it.
Yeah, there have been
So there's
several talks, but just
Yeah.
not by me.
I'm jealous. I need to get my crap together, man.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I'm 36. I'm not getting any younger.
When's the last time you were in a real relationship?
I tried one. It ended back in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the big problem, Chris?
I lived here and she lived in LA.
Okay, that can be.
It was a big relationship killer. Yeah.
Tricky.
But the reason why you didn't go to LA is because you did not choose her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get out of LA. Like, I was going bi-coastal back and forth for a long time, and then I was like, you got to have some sort of identity to yourself where going back and forth kind of messes with you. You're here for a few months, you're there for a few months. So I committed completely to New York, and I told her that when we met, and it was one of those things like where you're just like, I already did this commitment. I can't undo it. I've already set everything in motion, and she had a good job out there, and like her family's out there, so
What
I
was she
knew
doing?
she was never going to come.
What was she doing in LA?
She's a sports reporter.
Okay. You chose not her. Let's be
Yes,
honest.
I did.
about that.
Yeah, I know. And
Because
it's
a lot of times we say it's the circumstances.
yeah.
But Chris, if your girl was to go to Costa Rica,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And she said, Chrissy, I got to leave this country. They don't want me here anymore.
All right,
Would you
baby.
please come to Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Would you?
I'm going to be in Costa Rica
What?
Ooh.
Is that true?
by the volcanoes of Costa Rica.
And this is why
real?
I don't
Wow.
trust you here with taking care of my stuff. You would prove this.
He's a flight risk, Ron.
Yeah, he is. He's a flight risk. And look, I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Okay.
But to choose a Costa Rican prostitute over everything that we've had here on the Bennington show.
Now, here's something that is interesting to me. You have a fear of the commitment of marriage.
Yeah.
Giving this woman a ring. In that theory, like that would just be you living your same life, but there's a title and a ring on her finger.
just more
There's
jewelry.
more commitment to you saying, I would leave this country for her
Yeah, that doesn't make
to
sense.
live somewhere else. That's a bigger commitment.
Is it?
In many ways.
It's
I
way
think
bigger.
so.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just a commitment with marriage, just more jewelry. That's all it is. Obviously, because you're into this girl, you want to move to another country.
I don't want to move.
I mean,
to
but you'd be down with it, right?
You're practically Costa Rican now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're not an American.
I'm Ashkenazi Jew. Is what I am.
Well, it sounds like you're really into this girl, so that's cool, man. I mean,
What's Ashkenazi mean?
Ashkenazi means like not from Israel. Like it's like
I
the
didn't know
European
that.
the European Jew.
Well, what kind of Jew am I then?
I don't know if you're Jewish.
Oh, okay.
So you
I'm not
have
from
to be.
Israel, so I thought maybe I was Jewish.
So you have to be Jewish to be Jewish, you're saying.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You said I have some Ashkenazi or I believe Sephardic Jew. Those are two types of Jews
Yeah.
that are out there.
Sephardic is the
Israeli, Middle
I
Eastern.
don't think I
darker.
know any Sephardic Jews then.
I do. I know a Sephardic Jew family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darker, different culturally.
Like swarthy.
Millhouse, are you Jewish?
All right, that seems
No.
racist.
Is it?
everybody always thinks I am.
Swarthy?
though.
Yeah.
My face looks like I'm Jewish, but
You know
the
what?
rest of me is
That's
not.
actually even worse than being Jewish. Because here you have to take the full heat with none of the fun benefits.
Yeah. Exactly. People always just assume. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. I used to do jokes about it in LA. Hasidic Jews will walk up to me on the street and just ask me to pray with them and then just start praying in Hebrew before I even answer. It always happens.
Did you pray for?
Then they get weird because I just start reciting Catholic prayers, and they're like,
But
"Wait,
if
what?"
somebody asked me to pray, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do that for you.
That seems fair.
But I just don't know any Hebrew. I'm not Jewish.
What was the religion that they were in the movie The Witch? That's the one I want to join.
Oh, I don't know. That's like a Puritan kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to be a Puritan. Is what I want.
Or like
to do.
a Quaker, one of those like early, American.
Love the Quakers. No, the Quakers, that they just go in church and sit there.
Yeah,
Nobody
they just-
says a word.
you What? just- yeah, it's all kind of
They don't have
meditation,
any
really.
leaders.
Yep.
You just go in there and you're sitting around with other people and you're like,
Just stare at each other?
Hey, when's the start? And they go, yeah, it's been started, dude. This whole thing is going down right now. You don't even know about it.
And then somebody farts, and it's all.
I think Quakers, I don't know, I'm not sure of this, but I don't think they do fart. It's impossible
Yeah.
for them to.
That seems
They were
unhealthy.
born without an asshole. It's a different religion, Chris.
They're too busy quaking. They also don't have headstones in their cemeteries. All flat.
Do
Quaker
they use like
cemeteries.
toothpicks? Like, how do they know where they are?
I think they have some marker, but you can't have a headstone. It's got to be all flat.
Oh,
I don't mind.
So it really just looks like a park.
I don't like it. I don't like a headstone anyway. It makes it all look too haunted.
I like a mausoleum. I always thought that was the
You're
class.
never going to be able to afford it.
First of all, you couldn't afford a home. How are you going to get a mausoleum?
That's pretty baller, though, Chris. Like, having a mausoleum would be pretty badass. I'm sorry. It would.
He finally owns. After all these, who would have expected this is his first place?
I got this great studio out in the cemetery.
What a beautiful corpse house you
I don't
have.
think you can be buried in Queens anymore. There's no room.
That- yeah,
Let alone enough room for a
Oh,
mausoleum.
yeah. That one that's just like when you're driving on the BQE,
Yeah,
it's just like
Coventry or whatever.
it's so weird
It
looking.
looks like a perfect place for a mall to me. And when
They
I
never moved
Perfect
the
place for a mall.
body.
I'm not going to take that. I'm not
Do you
gonna
know
go-
that, by the way, that where where Levity Live is, that mall is made on a burial ground?
Oh my God, that's why every show is on it.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding you. Like when you go through the parking lot, you have to go drive by a bunch of graves in order to get into the parking lot.
Well,
Palisades Mall.
Don't you think we're all probably living over top of where dead people were?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, also the mall is sinking too. They built it on such like unstable ground where this burial ground is. The mall is slowly sinking into the ground.
this is a fucking movie, a haunted movie ready to happen.
And a lot of people apparently commit suicide inside the mall every year.
They do?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding you.
They jump from the
Because it's open in the middle, and it's like the mall is like 6 stories high.
Yeah.
So people just jump in the middle of the mall, and they say that the mall's been haunted because of the burial ground. But I'm like, yo, it's probably because of those people.
There's
jumping
some
off.
recent deaths.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Chris Millhouse is in studio. He's hosting Comedy Juice this
Why
Tuesday.
would you bring that up right now?
Hey, he's going to do something a little lighter than talking about death and people killing.
I just want to let everyone know he's hosting Comedy Juice. Chris Millhouse is hosting Comedy Juice. It's Tuesday.
Just take your time, Chris, and do it properly.
I am. I'm listening. All right.
This is the best show I've ever
Chris,
been on.
I
Yeah.
apologize. Chris Millhouse is in studio. Chris is hosting Comedy Juice.
Great show, by the way.
This Tuesday, November 7th at 9:30 p.m. as part of the New York Comedy Festival. ComedyJuice.com for tickets. And he's hosting Comedians in the Hall at Liberty Hall in New York City, Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. TheBreslin.com for tickets.
Thank you, Chris.
I was there at Comedy Juice one night,
Yeah.
and
You killed, by the way. You absolutely destroyed, Ron.
I hear that.
You hear that?
I
No,
hear
for
that.
real.
I
That's
hear-
the best set I've seen you have, and I see you have great sets all the time. You were really like on fire that night.
It's just easy.
Nobody
for
could
me.
follow, buddy.
It's just easy for me.
Yeah, that's all right. Calm down, humble. Okay.
But I see, like Seinfeld stops by and does his show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jerry
last year.
Seinfeld
Well,
just
he was
stops
working
in.
on his hour, but yeah.
But don't
Don't
play
doubt.
it
Yeah,
down.
that's nuts.
There's plenty of places he doesn't come, but he's
That's true.
And then he's like, "What's this Comedy Juice?
What's the deal with Juice?
What's the deal?
Why is this called Comedy Juice?
And
Where's the juice?
And Gilbert's thing, they just show Gilbert. I forget he's on a talk show. And he's like, "Why do people wear shoes?" He's acting like that's like not a Seinfeld. Like a Seinfeld was just fucking crazy. Why do people wear shoes? But he doesn't do everybody's show, and he does your show. But then he acts like he doesn't know what Comedy Juice means.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I was saying, go up there. Just fucking walk on stage with him and start ripping with Jerry.
Yeah. Let's see how well that goes over.
Oh my god!
And then never allowed back in the club ever
But
again.
at least you'll have that story.
Oh, yeah.
One night I
Be worth it.
Yeah, you guys want to hear about the time I got banned from Gotham Comedy Club?
They love you at Gotham. They adore you.
Yeah, they're great people over there. Honestly, that's like one of my favorite
Who
clubs.
you got coming in this week? Seinfeld?
We have actually there's a show tonight because it got moved because of Halloween. So I got Chris DiStefano, Todd Barry,
Great acts.
Yeah.
Christina Hutchinson.
When I was in there too, Regan was hanging out at Comedy Juice.
Yeah, he loves to just hang out. He doesn't like to go up like in clubs. It's weird. He just likes to come and hang out.
You know why? He likes to get paid.
We've offered to pay him.
No, but real.
Yeah, I know,
money.
real
He likes
money,
to get paid Regan money.
Yeah. But he's my God. Have you ever gotten to drink with that dude? By the way, like one of the funnest dudes to drink with ever.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's just a really like fun, sweet guy.
Yeah, he can be.
Yeah.
He can be.
I smell another story behind that comment.
Enjoy life.
Yeah.
Everyone should enjoy life.
Absolutely.
But he's going to be here for the comedy festival.
Yeah.
And he's doing Carnegie Hall.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Going to be
Pretty
fantastic.
badass. I'm going to go to the Impractical Jokers event at Madison Square Garden.
That's very, very cool, right?
Yeah. That's pretty cool to get to play MSG.
Yeah, that's
And yet,
insane.
they don't even have time to think about it because they're on their cruise right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Their
they haven't
life is a
stopped.
mad-
They've
yeah.
been on tour. They've been doing like nonstop, and then they're getting ready for MSG. Like that's kind of
When do they actually shoot the show?
They're
I never
shooting it
understand.
right now.
During all these events?
Yeah,
they're
like a
shooting.
lot of times they're still shooting, like in between the events.
I saw Sal the other night. He was like, I'm doing 5 shows tonight. I go, but you don't have to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's why I give him so much credit and how Sal's like such a good dude because he wants to grind it out. He wants to be that dude who works on his craft of stand up, regardless of does he need to? No, because he's got all these shows, but he really loves stand up that much.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand anybody who was like, I could be resting, but I'm not.
He should be resting with all these freaking shows he's got
I
going.
know. He's going to hop the hoppers. One day he'll just fucking end up, his heart will explode. And what's happening at the Ace Hotel with you?
I started this show. It's going to be monthly. I host it every month. The last one was incredible. We had Sal on.
Yeah.
He's our special guest drop-in. We had him and Michelle Buteau and Roy Wood Jr. And it was pretty dope. Like it was a couple weeks ago. Sold out. The hotel, just really beautiful hotel. They put it like together a really great venue downstairs because it's usually kind of a music venue. It's like a venue for like kind of anything. And then they went and they got some like nice tables and chairs and
Well, they got tables and chairs. Beautiful.
yeah, fucking candle lights. And
I
it
think
was
Roy
great.
Wood Jr. is amazing on stage too.
Oh my god, he
He's
really
fucking
kills it.
I think Roy is going to be the next household name, like Chappelle and a lot of those guys. I think he's
Is that
just
right?
I just think he's blowing up, and he's just so funny to like when you watch him on stage. It's just insane. Like he kills so hard that it's like, how could a guy that talented not become a household name?
Yeah,
You know?
it is true.
Yeah.
Everybody in the place fucking follows. There's some people that are just very, very likable too.
I saw.
Besides being funny.
I remember the first time I saw him was at the Creek in the Cave, and he was like slaying me, like could not breathe. I was shocked.
You saw him Creek and Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen him in a lot of places, and every single time.
Always destroys, right?
Yeah, always. Chris, go ahead and plug again, would you?
Chris Millhouse is in studio. Chris is hosting Comedy Juice this Tuesday, November 7th at 9:30 p.m. as part of the New York Comedy Festival. Go to comedyjuice.com for tickets. And Chris is also hosting Comedians in the Hall at Liberty Hall in New York City, Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. Thebreslin.com for tickets. And on Twitter, at Chris Millhouse.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris, who
Yes.
gave us this shirt here?
That was Captain D.
What does it say?
That's Captain D.
Ask me about Woodstock.
Yeah, because I brought up Woodstock too many times on the air. I had too many
You
fun
just
facts.
you have a lot of fun facts about Woodstock, and I just said that you know a lot about Woodstock.
Were you there?
No.
Oh.
No, I wasn't.
All right.
I
Well,
saw the
then.
movie, I listened to the album, I read the books.
Gotcha.
Captain D, the Astros fan?
Astros
Yes,
fan, yeah.
So
very
he's going to be on
big.
top of the world right now.
He was very. I saw on Twitter he was going crazy last night celebrating. I was very happy
It
for him.
wasn't the best ending, but it was the ending that happened. So what are you going to do?
And
You
there's
know?
6 great games before that.
Yeah.
But it just looked like The Dodgers just went, we can't.
Well, I mean, you got to look at this with baseball season, man. It's 163 regular season games plus all the postseason games, and a lot of these series went 7 games. All the bullpens are going to break down. Every pitcher is going to break down. It's too much. So that's why it was like a slugging fest. I mean, like, nobody was perfect. It's just like, who can outlast the other? That's all it really came down to.
Yeah, it really comes down to that. And it's
You
a
know?
very odd way of putting that. You know, it's the marathon season, and then these short.
Yeah, they need to shorten the season. I love baseball, but they need to shorten that season because these guys. I mean, how can your bodies sustain that much work? It's so much.
When they had that season, there wasn't any other types of entertainment. You just had baseball. People were like, hey, we might as well play baseball.
But now you got everything else, though.
Yeah, they're going like this. We never got around to invent TV yet. We do have baseball, though.
Go to another game.
But they don't, they don't want to shorten the season because there's money in it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's a lot of money, a lot of sponsorship,
All comes down to them dollar bills.
Yeah.
Is the travel the worst for baseball?
Well,
Like,
you're
the
playing
road-
every day, too.
Yeah.
So it's travel, and you have to play a 9-inning game. I mean, those guys don't have much of a social life. In the old days, they would play a game, they would drink, they would get on a train and go an hour. And go like this. It's so great to travel. We went all the way from Brooklyn to Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Right.
Now you're flying around, you're going to all these fucking
coast
places.
to coast,
and no one really cares about any team except for their own home team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because there's probably just too much baseball
there's
to
too
watch.
much baseball. And there's 2 leagues. So how am I ever going to get around and watch the Astros until it's finally fucking October? So I go, okay, let's take a look at these fellas now. What do they have? This was the first World Series that had 2 National League teams playing against each other. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, people forget the Astros were a National League team. People are like,
it was
what are
only
you
a couple
talking
years ago, right?
Yeah. 2013.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And they were a National League team at least my entire life.
I tell you what, though, I think next year's the Yankees' year. I think so. I mean, look, I'm a big Yankee fan. I didn't expect them to do anything this year. The fact that they went that far against the Astros, they could have beat the Astros. It just, it's just what it is. They lost in that 7th game. But I think they're stacked for the next few years. They're going to make some offseason moves.
So are other people, though. You never know.
They've got a bright future. They've got really good,
all
guys
that
out
stuff
in the,
makes
minors.
sense while we're talking,
Yeah.
and then you got to play the season.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you never know
Nothing
what's going to
builds
happen.
upon
You never
anything.
know.
Yeah. And
Guys
then-
get hot and guys get cold.
Yeah.
You know?
Vito, you always think the Mets have an opportunity, right?
And Yankee fans get very high and mighty off this season, but I want to point out the Mets went to the World Series in 2015. We all thought we were going to be living large the next year.
I know.
And look what happened.
It's true.
Nothing like
you guys stopped. You still have a team, the Mets?
No, we sold off in June this year, I believe.
The Mets have never had a team.
We went to the World Series in 2015. The Yankees couldn't even beat the Astros.
Oh, sounds like somebody's better. How'd you win? How did that World Series turn out?
We lost and we made it to the World Series, but how did it feel losing before that? I mean, how's that? 27 World Series, 27 World Series.
27 championships. That's
That
pretty.
is a
that's-
lot.
It is, but it's such an annoying argument.
I know, but it is a.
It's fact. It is an annoying
It's
argument,
an
but
annoying
it is a
argument because you
fact.
can't argue against it. And
Yeah.
I'm a Phils fan, and the Yankees are the greatest fucking sports team America's ever had. So what? Root against them, but you can't act like they're not.
But
I always like Mets fans. I love Mets fans. How they their hatred for Yankees.
I don't have any hatred for the team. I just think it's like look at the future. Like look what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Don't
you
think,
can't predict anything. I know. I get it.
We're going to win a World Series next year. I mean, I thought we were going to win a World Series in this year. I thought.
What did they won? Like 20% of the World Series? It's not that crazy of a thing to say the Yankees are going to win the World Series. There's never been a team like this at any point in time.
No, yeah, I do. I do have a pretty good hatred for the Yankees, where I always root for the Montreal Canadiens to win more Stanley Cups, so they catch up to the Yankees in championships.
When was the last time that happened?
I don't know, and they only have like 20 or something, so they have a bunch to catch
It's
up
never
to.
going to happen.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're a Yankee fan too, right?
Yeah. And then what are you going to throw back at them? At least the Montreal Canadiens are better than you?
Yeah.
Doesn't even
At
make
least the
sense.
hockey team is better than your baseball
Yeah.
team.
There was 8 teams in that league for most of the fucking time that they won those championships.
And they're in another country, so that makes it even. It means nothing.
But there's there's teams in other countries in baseball.
It doesn't matter because it's also another league.
What are you talking about? The Toronto Blue Jays are.
They're in the same league as the Yankees.
No, I know, but
They're in the same
talking about the Montreal
division.
Canadiens
This is
and NHL.
seriously, this is 2 waterheads fucking having an argument on a short bus. Please don't do it to us, Vito. You're burned out. We've already established that.
I like arguing baseball. I don't know. I actually rooted for the Mets in the World Series, and people gave me a lot of shit because they're like, Yankee fans can't root for the Mets, and it's like, yeah, I rooted for New York. I wanted a New York team to win.
People do get mad about that because now you're just taking advantage of your large market, nothing else. Most people don't have two teams.
Yeah.
Most people don't have two teams.
It's like L.A. now with 2 football teams. That's a disaster.
I don't know. I think it's really starting to catch on now.
Yeah,
It's
right.
starting to grow. I feel good about it. I say give it another
Look at the
few
attendance.
years. You know, well, the attendance is because people kneel down. Did you see who's pissed about Papa John?
Oh, yeah.
Is blaming professional football for ruining his stock prices. It
seems pretty fair.
He's 25% down, and he goes, because they won't get their shit together. Papa, if I can call you Papa. There's only 2 people.
Mr. John.
Yeah, I would call that. That's you and Hemingway. Papa, you make the worst fucking piece of shit pizza.
I mean, it's literally the worst. And when you're sitting there and you had to choose between bad pizza, last probably for me.
Dude, I feel like if you order Papa John's pizza in New York, they should kick you the fuck out of New York. Because of how much great pizza is in
You're
here.
terrible. I would rather go to Domino's.
Also, like, how is a guy surprised by this? Like a guy who includes cups of garlic butter in the same box as their pizza. How are you like, no one's ordering it anymore? It's like,
He
hey,
honestly
Americans don't
thinks the
want
reason
garbage.
that people aren't ordering that is because they buy commercials.
Oh, yeah. okay.
But now it's your job to move your marketing something else.
how
You
many-
don't just get to fucking say, hey, I'm going to ride the popularity of something for my product forever.
I feel like it's just his customers are just, their fingers are too fat to dial, like in The Simpsons.
Is it that?
They can't call and order.
It's been so many years since I have even tried Papa John's
it's
pizza,
so
but I
gross.
remember it just being very wet. Like for some
Yes,
reason,
you're right. It was
it's
kinda
wet.
wet, yeah.
And I don't mean like saucy.
Yeah.
I mean the dough and the bread itself, the crust is
moist crust.
And
wet
every
with
time you
something.
every time you see it on a commercial, doesn't it look like it's plastic, like it's fake? Like, you know, like it just
Yeah.
doesn't look good. It's like, who in their right mind would
I can't even stand to
voluntarily
look
eat
at
that?
him.
He always
You don't
looks
like
sweaty in
Papa?
there.
Yeah.
No, I don't
How
like
many
Papa.
commercials do you think it's going to take with Peyton Manning to get him back on track?
Well, I guess people are mad because Peyton Manning knelt down on the flag during the national anthem.
So Papa's he's dropping the forehead.
But could you imagine anyone going, all right, they're kneeling at the flag, so I'm not going to eat a Papa John's pizza.
I can't stomach this pizza anymore. To the NFL.
No.
Papa's friends with football players.
I think
and
people just-
therefore,
People just realized, oh my God, this is absolute garbage I'm putting into my mouth. Let's get this the fuck out of there.
I could eat anything else, and it would be better than Papa
Oh
John's.
God, yeah.
And I'm not even saying any other pizza. I could go through a dumpster and find just something soggy and warm there and just start gargling on it. Here's Nick. Nick in New York. What's up?
There's only one acceptable time to eat Papa John's. I was in the city on Thanksgiving, and I was a little under the influence of maybe cocaine, and there was nothing else open. I hadn't eaten in 3 days, so it was Papa John's or nothing.
yeah, I mean, I guess you shouldn't starve to death.
Hey man, that's the best Papa John's endorsement I've ever heard in my
First
life.
of all, Vito
if you're
was-
blown out of your mind on
He has a new commercial, I think.
Vito was
and haven't eaten in 3 days, go ahead and
already
eat
telling us how many great restaurants are open at 3 o'clock in the morning. In the
There's
US.
so many. You can
Yeah.
go to Papa John's. You could go to the Midnight
Right?
Express Diner on the Upper
There's
East
a
Side.
million places you can go in New York City that's better than Papa John's that are open late. You've no
Where do you go,
excuse.
Big Daddy's?
No, Midnight Express Diner. That's where I used to order. Like, I used to go to there every time I finish at the bar and like order fucking like full omelets and like burgers at
Hell
6
yeah.
a.m.
Instead of what? Half omelets?
Yeah.
What's a
it's
full omelet?
full omelets? Like 3 omelets combined.
Can I get the full omelet, please?
Yeah. Can I get the heart attack omelet?
It
Thank
was
you.
a half an omelet. I'm not eating that anymore.
I'm blown out of my mind for 3 days.
Where do you
on a
go late
bender.
nights, Chris?
I go to the Bel Air Diner in Astoria, Queens, New York, voted best diner in New York, 1994. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, this is a sponsored ad right now.
It's like right by the maybe there's like right by an underpass or
No,
something.
you're thinking of the Neptune Diner.
Yeah, that's a very popular one.
I've been to that one before.
Yeah,
Vito,
I like that one.
Vito told me to go to this place to get a slice of pizza because it's the biggest slice of pizza. And I'm up near Columbia, so I'm like, oh, that's the fucking place Vito was talking about. All they do is not slice in the middle with two slices.
Oh, that's it?
What else would you expect? What's the name of that place, Vito?
Coronets.
I put it up.
How is the pizza? The size aside
the
from the
pizza
quantity.
is not bad.
Just
but
two
I'm
slices in one.
I'm just like, why do I have to pick up a quarter of a slice? A quarter of the pizza every time I'm eating. Look at the size of the
Oh my
slice of
God,
pizza.
that's too much.
Christ.
And here's
Look at the
weird-
girl's face in the.
And I'm not lying about this. It's not expensive, right?
No,
Vito?
it's cheap and it's open.
I'm like this.
look
Why
that
is this so cheap?
Jeez, doesn't look bad though.
No, it's not. It's a pretty tasty pizza.
But it's half of a pizza.
Yeah.
You just feel your arteries clogging up as you take bites.
I'll have one slice and a knife,
Look at that
please.
thing.
It's great because then you get to say you only had one slice of pizza.
Ron, that slice looks like it's bigger than my entire body. The thing is massive.
I could just order a Millhouse slice.
Yeah, there you go.
They call it. And there'll be a picture of you on the menu just laying on one of the slices.
I try to. I'm a big burrito eater.
Yeah.
So especially in Southern California, there's a burrito place in San Diego. It's like my favorite place called Don Carlos, and the owner's great. Loves comedy. Listens to the show actually too. And he was
the plug for him.
Yeah, this plug for him because I want a free burrito next time I go. No, but I was like, he goes, he names burritos after comedians, and I said, name one after me. And he goes, well, what do you want? I go, just a half-size burrito. I said, I think that'd be great. He's like, no, you can't do that. Everyone's gonna want half-size burritos, and you can't do it all. I was like, oh man.
The last time I saw you, you were complaining about your weight. Do you feel like you got it back under control?
Yeah, I started working out, and
because he's like, I'm so fat. And I'm going, you're thinner than anyone else I know. Like I don't know.
No, it's because other comics are like fat shaming me at comedy clubs. They're like, what the fuck? You're getting fat as shit.
Who was shaming?
Derek Gaines.
Well, Derek Gaines is a thin guy. He is a thin guy.
A few other guys too. I was just like, it is what it is.
Tim Dillon wasn't.
No, well, yeah.
Tim Dillon does.
Those dudes probably won't.
Nothing but take pictures of food.
Yeah.
And then talk about food.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, and it's always food pics.
Yeah, him and
Let's
Alexis.
take a look at his Instagram to see what he's ordering.
He had something that really intrigued me a couple days ago that had like fried oysters. It was like some kind of egg
Oh, there it
dish.
is, yeah.
No, not that one. But that looks
That was
really
it.
good.
It's
fried oysters with
otherworldly.
eggs.
You know what he was doing? He was he's on that cruise.
The Impractical Jokers cruise.
And he went to New Orleans early so he could eat for 2 days before.
There it is, Chris. That one there.
Oh shit!
Egg sardo and fried
chicken.
Where's it
fried
at?
oysters.
Sardo's. No.
Where's the restaurant?
Brennan's restaurant. My
It
God.
looks delicious, right?
I know.
Yeah,
it
it looks
looks so
ridiculously
good.
I keep going through his stuff. I like to look at his food.
So hungry now.
Oh, that was the picture of the...
Yeah, that was the fried oysters I saw. Oh, that looks good.
Tim Dillon, I've landed safely. It's all food pictures.
Oh, is that the picture of the cruises at the top? Is he at the cruise?
Yeah, he's on the Impractical Jokers
Yeah.
cruise. Yeah,
That's
There's
the
like-
size of the ship?
Louis J. Gomez, Jan
Rich Voss.
Papas,
Rich Voss.
Is it? Yeah, Rich Voss, Mike
Look how
Vecchione. Yeah,
unhappy Voss looked.
He looks like he's looking at Vecchione with disgust.
Yeah.
probably. You ever seen Vecchione eat in front of you? I mean, come on. Just kidding. I've never seen him eat in front of me.
Voss was also worried about where they wanted to put him in the lineup. He felt like he should close every show. And I go, Rich, what's
He's
the
a headliner.
difference?
Yeah,
What is the difference?
he said the same thing to me with Comedy Juice.
Did he really?
Yeah, and then he goes, "Wait, it doesn't pay more to close, then I'll just go first."
Well, one night I was at the stand
Understandable.
and they had him host. He's like, "Why am I hosting, Ron? You know, I'm a headliner." And then what he did was, I'd say 11 to 14 minutes between every act. The show was
So they never asked him to host ever
I
again?
never heard him ask again.
That's
The
so
show
smart.
was so fucking thrown off. And I'm like, when's the last time you emceed in the fucking suburbs in the 1980s? You know, we just want to end this. People have places to go. You know what I mean? People have to be at the cellar. And you're like, yeah, where are you from? You with him?
I think the worst host that I hate are the hosts that do time at the end of the show. The show's over, all the comedians are done, and then they go up and do another 20 minutes afterwards, just because it's for them, and that's it.
Where do you see that happen at?
I see that in LA a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Laugh Factory, I saw that a few times. I'm just like, whoa, the show's over. Like, it's already 2-hour show, and you're still going with your own material for 20 minutes? Like, what?
That's strange.
Yeah, it's strange. That's when it's like all about, you, and you don't care.
And the LA comics are more that way. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I lived there for 9 years. You know, like I know how both
And
are.
every day was a living hell, you say.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm here
That's a
now.
quote. Yeah. You left the love of your life to be here.
I did. I'm happy here though. I live in Brooklyn now. I have a great place. I'm really happy, where I'm at. So just got to.
I've never been happy in my life. It's always surprising to me when people tell me that they're happy.
Just got to find a new love of my life now.
Vito, you got any friends, friend?
Why don't you ask Gail?
Well, Gail I don't even say that you have a lot of friends other than the ones that you've had for years, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have.
You don't make new friends.
I don't. I have a set group.
Who's your newest friend? Amy Miller?
Amy Miller is probably my newest friend.
And let's face it.
You don't have any single girlfriends, Gail?
Yeah.
I don't have any single. Most of them are coupled up.
Yeah.
Because I saw Amy Miller fight with Jay Moore on Twitter the other day. No, you know how I saw it?
Oh.
My fucking email. Ping, ping, ping. Oh, shit. 2 of your friends fighting. And here's what happened. Jay he told girls not to dress slutty for Halloween. And he seemed a little above it all when he said it. And then Amy Miller tweeted to him, "Shut up." And everybody wanted me to comment on it. That's why I can't fucking stand social media. And this is also true. If you say one thing, they will write to your friends who disagree with you politically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, Nick DiPaolo, your fucking gay friend Ron is for, you know what I mean? Whatever. And they but I'm not saying, hey, Nick, or hey, Anthony, you know what I mean? I'm not even thinking them at the time, but they think that they should go and alert people that that you might have a different political bent to them. That's why I don't even do it.
Social media is just for tattletales. People who just want to tattle and just stir
and to troll people. They're trolling. You know, they want to start.
It's gotta be like 75% of the things written.
All right, wait. I got a new idea. You can't control me. What if we say control me?
I like that.
Or do we have to watch out because we're in a new era now?
I think we're fine with cunt.
Sex shaming.
Well, if Gail says it, we're good.
You say that, but you know who the last person who thought that? Harvey Weinstein.
Chris Millhouse is in studio. Chris will be hosting Comedy Juice this Tuesday, November 7th at 9:30 p.m. as part of the New York Comedy Festival. ComedyJuice.com for tickets. Chris will also be hosting Comedians in the Hall at Liberty Hall in New York City on Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. TheBreslin.com for tickets to that. And on Twitter at Chris Millhouse.
I've never heard anyone plug with less enthusiasm.
He's probably seen my act, so that's why. You know, he's
your
probably
act
like,
is very funny, my
gross.
friend. Very funny.
Oh, thanks, Ron.
And you bring big energy, and Chris just acted like he had a gun to his head. If I was the FBI, I'm like, he's trying to give us clues of what he really wants to say.
That's all right.
Chris has never been to Disneyland, Disney World, Universal, none of those things.
Never been to Epcot either.
I've been to all of them though, and it's not my thing. I don't really like.
But at least you've seen it.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
experienced
I've been, yes.
Yeah.
That's like saying I've never been to fucking Connecticut. It's just like you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Have you even been to Connecticut? Because I go up there, I never see you.
That's where I'm from. I know everyone there, okay? They're going to tell me if you were there.
I've been to Connecticut Liquors. That's because my college shared a border with Connecticut.
I will say this, because we were talking about food, and Vito's going on about the world's largest slice. Connecticut has some of the best comfort food in the world.
What was that hot oil pie? It was like a spicy oil pie.
Yes, that was...
Is that in Connecticut?
Oh
yes,
my God, it was so good.
That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up.
Stanford, right?
It's called a stinger pie at the Colony Grill in Stanford.
Okay.
And it's so good.
I don't know whether it's Stanford, maybe it's Bridgeport. It's one of those little fucking towns. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's where I'm from. One of those. Little
That's it.
That
What
looks
is that?
dope.
It's
Now,
so
by the
good.
way,
Looks so thin.
It's very thin.
It's thin as air. It's very, very tasty. And this pie has been selling since like 1910, whether or not the NFL is kneeling or standing. They are not marked.
Papa John's, you
But,
better
like,
take some notes, man.
One
Come
of the
on.
great things about that place is like you'll go in there and there's these people with their uniforms like from World War II back in the 40s and they just run to get this pie. Up around Yale, there's a lot of great places, but there's a lot of great hot dog places.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, there's a lot of great burger places. A lot of
Pepe's Pizza.
Yes, Pepe's
It's in New
Pizza is
Haven.
one of the most
In
famous
Fairfield.
in the world. So Connecticut
got some good food there.
Never gets the fucking reputation
That it deserves?
that they deserve.
Yeah, I like it.
And I would like to go on Food Network and fucking look at people. Oh, by the way, you're thinking of food and you're not going to Connecticut? Then fuck you. And then I'll give all the reasons.
Connecticut
why.
also has like a fast food chain that's only in Connecticut that I think is like one of the best fast
What's
food
it
chains.
called?
It's called Duchess.
Duchess?
Yeah, it's like Southern Connecticut. It's kind of like diner, like if diner food was fast food, but it's really freaking good. Like one of the best. Like
Is that
I've
a
ever
chili
had.
dog?
Yeah, they got chili dog. They're famous for their hot dogs and their cheeseburgers and stuff. So
Is that right?
yeah. I always just thought it was. I mean, maybe because I grew up with it, but I always thought it was like some of the best fast food I've ever had.
I wouldn't even think of fast food when I go to Connecticut. I'm going to go get a hot dog at Danny's every single time now.
Danny's in Bridgeport, right?
I'll drive off the road.
You're gonna
no
go to
matter where I'm
Bridgeport?
going.
Don't go to Bridgeport.
It's the best. There's some of the best food. Look at
Yeah.
what you afraid of Bridgeport.
I grew up there. And
I don't
right
have a
next to it.
zero. I don't have a bit of racism.
I'm
That's
not
the thing about it.
racism. Just,
I get it. I know where you're coming from. Like when
It's
you're
just a
saying,
shit town.
I know how they are. I don't want them on my shows. I'm like, no, I'm with you. I get it.
Right now, I want a
Thanks,
chili
Ron.
dog
Thanks for-
really
Fuck,
bad.
that looks good.
I really want that right now.
Again, this has been around for 100 years or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
I always go like this, two. Give me two, please.
Utah.
They used to have
Give me two.
hot dogs.
Utah, give me two.
They used to have a dope hot dog spot right next to the dump where I grew up, which is the weirdest spot you would ever have a hot
What's the
dog
name of
stand. I wish I could remember it
fucking
because I was a
eat that
kid,
right now.
and it's so amazing. Just Google
If
it.
somebody tells me there's a
Hot
good
dog
dog
stand by the
place
dump.
up there, I'll go that way.
Nothing like eating a hot dog
right now.
Nothing like eating a chili dog while just smelling a dump.
I like that you call food dope. I'm going to start that.
Dope,
now,
yeah,
too,
dope.
And then I'm going to call my dope food.
Yeah, I use the word dope way too often.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, especially for a 36-year-old white guy. You know.
You
People
don't
are
have to apologize for yourself. You're a fucking very successful comedian. You got shows all over the New York Comedy Festival. The fact that Chris won't bring it up, that's Chris's fault.
I apologize. Chris Millhouse is in studio, and he's hosting Comedy Juice this Tuesday, November 7th, 9:30 p.m. as part of the New York Comedy Festival. ComedyJuice.com for tickets. And Chris is hosting Comedians in the Hall at Liberty Hall in New York City, Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. TheBreslin.com for tickets.
And you say you apologize, right?
I apologize.
Then get on your knees. Get on your knees and bark like the dog that you are.
Oh, God, now?
You're going to take money from me and Charlie Luciano.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the plugs. That one's had a little more feeling to it, so I appreciate that.
By the way, this Korean kid I know, he's kind of, I mean, he gets English and he's part of America, but he's always like this. Why do Americans just keep saying movie quotes? And he gets lost in our conversation.
I love that
and then
so much.
He would actually be here like, why is Ron mad at Chris and who's Charlie Luciano? And people will really panic and think that someone is fucking with him like a clown. He doesn't get it at all. And he says, we do it constantly. And I go, you try being around Artie. Artie breaks in all fucking plays.
Obscure characters and
most people I know do that though.
Yeah, a lot of people like quote movies. The worst is though when you quote movies and people just don't get the quotes.
yeah, well, that's my life.
And you're just like
Because
sitting there.
sometimes I quote for myself.
Yeah. Well, especially like I was dating younger girls for a while, and it was just completely lost.
Like 12 or
12.
Well, you should have been
21. Thank you.
You should have been doing like quoting like kids movies for them.
Yeah, exactly. Should I do some Dora the Explorer quotes?
Pixar
stuff.
Let it go. I mean, I don't know what else is happening.
Just keep swimming. Right?
Like, oh my god, I love that quote.
What's the worst movie quote of all time? It's practically when the people do, too.
Well, mine is not one that people do, but I can tell you what the worst movie quote I've ever heard in my life is. So there was this movie. It's called Daylight. It was about a tunnel. And I think it's a Sylvester Stallone action movie. The tunnel, water seeping in. It's like a disaster movie.
Okay.
So the water is seeping in. There's a group of people who are all huddled together, right?
Yeah, of course.
So they're like, with the water at 38 degrees, but now we're going to have to worry about hypothermia. And then one person says, hypo what? She says, hypothermia. You think you're getting tired, but you're really getting dead. And like, I'm telling you right now, I think of it every time I hear the word hypothermia. I think it's the worst line. And I saw the movie when I was a little kid, and I just thought,
hilarious.
That's garbage. That's like somebody should have read that script and went, you know, I think you should change that line because it's so bad.
Anytime somebody tells you that they're getting tired,
I will be on
But
that
you're really
line.
getting dead.
You should really just go right back
think
at
you're
it.
getting tired,
but you're really
getting dead.
You're getting dead.
Chris, give me a worst movie quote.
Titanic, I'm king of the world is fucking terrible. It's terrible.
I'm king of the world.
You're standing on the front of a boat.
How often does that happen?
I do it every time I'm on a boat.
I do it on a boat quite a bit.
Or anytime that something comes to a triangle, I'll just stand at the edge
There's
or
a place
something.
on the East River like that where you get there, people stand up. I'm king of the world,
It's
and we all
terrible.
laugh.
Awful. There's
Such
nothing
a
to laugh
good
at.
line.
It was the biggest movie of all time when it came out.
I know. It was a very popular film. Doesn't mean it doesn't have a bad line in it, which is fucking I'm king of the world.
Vito, I see you leaning forward like you want to be in on this.
So Avatar is bad enough with like the fact that they named the product unobtainium, but there's a part in the end of the
You won't
movie.
be able to obtain that product.
There's a part where everything's going nuts and like the military's forcing these guys to do something fucked up, and Michelle Rodriguez is flying a spaceship, and she goes, "I didn't sign up for this," and turns the spaceship around.
She didn't though. She was just trying to get some unobtainium.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I go places and there's things happening I don't expect, I'll just yell out, I didn't sign up for this fucking non-obtainium.
It's apropos.
Huh?
Appropriate.
Joe in Utah. Joe.
Hey, not sure if this is a movie quote, but I hate when people say, I can tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Everybody will fucking use that over and over and over.
I think it has.
And then they even laugh like I'm supposed to laugh at them, and I'm like, I've seen this in 100 movies.
Yeah, that's like one of those just horrible movie cliche lines that you're like, again,
I could tell you, but then
that's
I'd
a
have to kill
placeholder. You know what I mean? You write that line, you go, yeah, I'll put this here now, but I better write something better later.
You know, I've never written a second draft of anything. I'm that strongly about my stuff. I just feel like it's the first draft or nothing. I do hate that, though. And people will use it. Like, I can understand if you were in the CIA and use this line. But you're working for Jiffy Lube. That no one is going to kill you for anything.
How much
you
are those
tell me.
tires? I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. I'm going to punch you in the face. Shut the fuck up and tell me the goddamn line.
All right, what about this? So there was like the Batman movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and
when he was Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Yes.
The worst
Now,
Batman ever.
all of his lines really terrible, right? Like all of them are like,
Freeze.
nobody's gonna take me to the cooler and all that kind of stuff. And that's, you can like laugh at it. But at one point, Poison Ivy has a line where she kisses somebody kisses Poison Ivy and then they go like, my rubber lips are immune to your poison. It's like, that's just like literally what just happened. Like they delivered it like it was like a cool line, but they're like, yeah, that's just literally what just happened.
Can we make the argument though that like any Schwarzenegger movie had like some of the worst lines ever, but just because it was Schwarzenegger, you're like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be back. Like, are you kidding? Like, if anybody else did that, you'd just be like, what
Even when he
what does
did
that
it, we
mean?
all just laughed.
Yeah, because you're like, this is the dumbest, cheesiest
And then
thing I've ever
he
seen.
would put it in every other movie after that, like
Yeah.
rom-coms. He'd be like, "I'll be back." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were all people would just laugh.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I got
we had
thought of another one.
All right, give.
All right, so this is in one of the X-Men movies.
All right.
And this is like an ending scene. Spoiler alert. I mean, if it's like 10, 15
Don't
years
ruin
old.
X-Men for me.
But there's a point where, and then I was thinking of it because it's a literal thing that happens, delivered like an action line. So one of the girls in the X-Men girls steals the plans and they are able to expose some government thing. And they're like, how did you get the plans or something like that? And he's just like, let's just say I know a little girl who can walk through walls. No, that's literally, you don't have to say, let's just say.
That wasn't a figure of speech. That was a real thing.
That's literally what happened, dude.
I know
a little
a
girl
mutant
walked
freak.
through the walls.
I know a mutant
Let's
freak.
just say I stole it.
Let's just say I know a little girl who walks through walls.
I think that we should write a movie called The Movie of Bad Movie Quotes. And we just try to link all these things together.
There's got to
any
be
of the
some sort of
in-between
website out there, though.
You know, I know. I say we actually shoot that movie.
Oh, you just
we
remake?
shoot the movie
Mm-hmm.
for people who really like movie quotes.
We had this argument too, by the way. We're back to Schwarzenegger. Where it was on Facebook. I think Mike Lawrence started it. It was an argument of whether you think that Schwarzenegger could be the same superstar now that he was when the 80s, or was it just a right time, right place kind of thing? You know, like if he was doing I'll Be Back now in 2017, I don't think anybody would go for it.
Look, we're going to look back at The Rock the same way and say, how did that happen?
Yeah.
There's just always the dude bro, dumb down guy.
Yeah.
You know, before him, it was like Charles Bronson or Clint Eastwood. People just like a guy who doesn't say much,
Just
but
violence.
everything that he says is stupid.
Right.
You know? And, you know, who knows why Arnold's charisma works. It does.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he even made one decent career choice in his life, but it worked. And you can look at The Rock now. How can The Rock be a movie star? And yet he is. And those movies are as dumb as anything from the 80s. There's always a car flying off
Baywatch flops so bad.
Yeah. Well, they all have flops. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. They all have flops, but he's the highest paid person in movies today.
Is he? I didn't know that. Holy shit.
Without, you know, like the other day, Chris Hemsworth was here, and people were going, hey, Thor's here. You know what I mean? Like, Thor is a movie star.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is, though. I don't know if the guy who plays Thor can put asses in the seats.
Outside of the wig and the fucking hammer, I don't know any other Chris Hemsworth movies.
Well, he's done them.
Played a hacker in that one movie, and that didn't do very well because he was this gigantic, like ripped computer hacker.
What hackers can't
Was
work
it
out?
him or was it his brother that was in the movie, the remake of Vacation?
I think it was him.
Was it
but
him?
I could be wrong.
He was funny in that because he just played an idiot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was another bomb, and we never saw the star again. The fucking, what's the guy who did that movie?
Ed Helmsworth?
Yeah. That was it. I'm like, hey, man, because I went and saw it.
He's just collecting all his office money anyway.
Yeah, but, you know, you'd
And his
like to
hangover
collect,
money.
You could collect both those things and still make money. You know what I mean?
Make some new money.
Yeah. And have all that money together. We got to wrap this up.
Yes, we do.
This went very, very fast with Chris Millhouse.
Yeah.
We had nothing when you got here. And look at us now. We're all pumped up.
We're
and
talking
excited.
movies. We're talking everything, man.
Now, I'm going to have Chris give you a lackluster plug.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris Millhouse has been in studio. Chris will be hosting Comedy Juice this Tuesday, November 7th at 9:30 p.m. as part of the New York Comedy Festival. ComedyJuice.com for tickets. And Chris will be hosting Comedians in the Hall at Liberty Hall in New York City Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. TheBreslin.com for tickets. And on Twitter, it's at Chris Millhouse.
And you got to go to Chris's shows. He never runs a bad show. These Comedy Juice shows
Thanks,
are
man.
fantastic.
Yeah.
They're just the highest level of comedy that you can imagine. Great place to see it. And now that Ace Hotel, it's starting to become like a little empire for you, buddy. It's becoming somewhat.
I just want to do
empire.
something fun, man. And the Ace Hotel, the guy who runs it, I've known him for years, and he really wanted to put money into building something cool, and and that's the big thing, is that having somebody that supports you and believes in, putting together a good quality product and believes in the art. So
you deserve it, pal. You
thanks,
really do.
thanks, Ron, and we got to get you on sometime.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for us, guys.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Thanks for.
We're back here tomorrow with the Unmasked with Gilbert. Make sure tomorrow night is also his movie debuts in New York and LA, and after that around the country. So we'll see you then. See you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!